long are these? Holy shit. Okay, these are long. Whew, they always are, aren't they? Alright. Well, let's do it. Let's get to it. 4.1.0. Patch notes. Okay. Welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 4.1.0. The Wolf Hunter DLC Game Pack. Introduces 2 4-man dungeons. Allowed an adventure in the hunting grounds. In addition to a host of... So we got new battleground map, outfit styles, the addition of keep recall stones and Cyrodiil, updates to the respec, which we just looked at in game, which I will be able to show a bit. The respec thing looks pretty nice, actually. I could show that again real quick, because we're already in on the PTS. If you just hopped in and for the video. So I'll post this up after. So respecking, because I was a little lost and confused. If you want to play with it, you should go to morphs. And it's kind of like how CP is now, I guess. Right? So like I already have these skilled, but I can go in here and, you know, switch them around. Or you can hit clear morphs. Ooh, so you can do clear the line or all lines, you know, and kind of pick them. Or you can just, you know, exit out. Same as the CP system. That's actually really nice. It's handled brilliantly. That's so convenient. There's a lot of times, especially when different patches come. Or, you know, the best use really is sometimes you just want to change a thing or two to try something else with your build. And it's minor. It's one skill. You're like, that would be nice to try. Well, it's pretty easy to try now. So, I like that. It's good. Also made a number of balance changes this update. The main goals being to improve the Werewolf skill line, reduce the duration of snare and defiles, and increase the viability of the number of less popular item sets. Okay, I like it. Okay, here's our table of contents. So first we got the new dungeons, collectibles, furnishings. As always, I'm going to skip through a little bit. Then we have base game. We'll look at this too. Got some known issues. And then we have fixes and improvements after. So we have... definitely look through combat and gameplay. We'll look at the base game a little bit. Let's skip through. Let's go. Here's the new dungeons. Moonhunter Keep. So we already saw this on ESO Live on Friday as Finn plowed through one-shotting all the mobs. Saw that in this. They both look pretty cool. The one looks awesome with the giant here scene or whatever up above. That looks really cool. So they're in Reaper's March and Green Shade. Actually, we just saw that too. Where are they at? Down here. Got one in Green Shade. Right there next to this port thing. And the other's at the top of Reapers. Both in AD zones. First in AD expansion. What's going on here? Both dungeons include normal and then vet. Number of rewards. So we have new sets. 2 new Undaunted Monster Mask sets. Achievements. A unique player skin. Is that available, guys? Can we see the skin now? Has anyone seen that? Several titles, unique housing items. Is there any way to like easily pull that up? Does anyone know? And can we look at the new motifs too? I don't know if that's a thing. I'll hop on a guy, see if we can see any of the new motifs at the thing. You can get the skin on templates. Okay. The skin is a mullet. Oh, right, it's the werewolf guy. Okay. So the new skin's the werewolf guy. How about the new some of the other new armors? Can we see them? We'll check in a minute. Let's look through this. Okay, here they all are. So we get new headwear. Man beast skin. Man bear pig. Trophies, busts. You have a chance to drop 1 of 4. Here seen theme furnishing plans. Okay. Some furnishing stuff. Alright. New cosmetic stuff in there. Excellent. New item sets. Here we go. Okay. So this is from Moonhunter Keep. We have a light. The spell damage, spell crit, and alk. Poison fires increase spell damage by 600 for 6 seconds. It's a lot of spell damage. It's a lot of uptime, actually. 600. That's like just shy of what Alchemist does right now, but a lot higher uptime. 60% uptime. That's not too bad. That's really strong, actually, I think. Because a lot of your fights go in PvP. A lot of your fights, you kind of have a rotation you fire. Poison's proc real easy, especially if you're just running, like a general light attack weave, and that would pretty much proc on your engagement, and you can start to close somebody a lot of times in 6 seconds. Some fights will drag on a little. Okay, it might go down. That's really strong. It's 2 spell damage and a crit too. It's a lot of spell damage. That's not a bad one at all. That's really strong. Oof. All right, Savage Werewolf medium, max stam, weapon damage, stam recovery. That's all really good. Those 3 are really good. Your light and heavies, red and flesh, causing your enemy to bleed 1k physical every 2 seconds for 6. So 3k over 6 seconds. It is bleed damage, but it's not a lot. I mean, Slode's is, for example, like 850 every 1 second. Can't be mitigated. Right? It's 1600 every 2 seconds. It's strong stats here, though. Really good. I don't think it's because it's 2, 3, 4 piece bonus. It's not terrible, but I don't know. This could be good for BG and non-CP. I don't know if it'd be really. There's other things I think that can outdo it a bit, but it's not bad because you can throw this in as a good stat set with something that goes hand in hand. So many people are using, dual wield and rending people already. I mean, this would just go right in. Procs off your light or heavies. And it looks, I guess, 100%. I guess there's no. I don't know why there's not like proc chances or anymore. Something I've said a lot with Slodes is I hate how, like, I don't mind having oblivion damage in the game if you keep it in check, like conditions are met, and this really goes for anything where the proc is strong. And procs seem to be handed out more easily than not. And I think if you want strong procs in the game, you should have to meet conditions, so you start to form a play style around it. Rather than, I shoot a Dragon Knight in the back who has, his volatile armor up or whatever, and it automatically reflects damage on me, and now I've been procced with Slodes, which then procs his Valken. This guy doesn't even know he's been shot with an arrow yet, and suddenly I'm taking more damage. You know, those kind of conditions are bad. Like I think one that's good is I don't remember the exact name of it, like that curse of Doiliemish or whatever the hell it is that um, does a big chunk of damage when you like heavy attack someone that's either stunned or immobilized. It's like, all right, there's a condition. I have to time something. I have to do something, right? Or some of the I liked when they changed some of the Undaunted sets where they procced and they had a delay. So it's not like it was guaranteed. I think guaranteed procs should be the least effective sets for procs, without a doubt. So something where the condition is your light attack procs, you know, it's like, you know, at least put a chance on it maybe. But you know, you have to apply it to other ones. Slodes too. I don't know. We'll see if they change that. Anyway, moving on to the heavy set here. Healing taken, max health. When you lose 25% or more of your health from a single attack, you gain major vitality for 6 seconds, increasing your healing. Wow, major vitality. Major vitality is really good. Oh, man. I mean, I hate these bonuses here. I hate healing taken. It's not the worst, but with that and major vitality, I mean, this is a set that can very well counter bursts like Incap or Magic Sork. Or anybody that's really gearing their guy to hit hard like a leap. Anything like that would immediately proc major vitality, which is really good, especially on people that run a lot of hots. And people that run a lot of hots are like stam builds, wardens. They run a lot of hots. You get major vitality, jacking it up every time you take burst. You focus less on defense. That's pretty good. I don't like the 2 to 4 set bonus, but in a sense, it's actually a pretty nice defensive set. You know, it's kind of in a different way than like reactive is. This is something good if you run a lot of hots. Like Stamsork's a good example. They have vigor, they have crit surge going. Some kind of passive triggers that are firing a lot that will just automatically get amped. That's none of those are really complete junk at all. I know some of these DLCs we've seen somewhere like, all right, who's going to use the set that, you know, procs when you disengage from your horse, you know. All right, here's the monster set. Healing taken on the first. When you taunt an enemy, you frighten them with a deafening howl, applying major maim to them for 3 seconds. Lowering their damage. This can occur every 15. That's terrible. That's that's not good. That one's bad. 1 in 5 for your uptime, 20%. No good. Take it off. Does major maim work in like PvE or something? I don't know. There's not many sources to major maim in the game. Like the ward one's probably the best. The trap, and then they made the trap. You can throw 3 down now. Major maim's very strong, but for 3 seconds, you almost have to be like, this guy's about to pull off his big combo, and you come in and you ransack him right at the right moment. I mean, that's just maybe for PvE it can work, but even then, are you like, does it work in PvE? Is it like the boss is gonna do a big AOE, get him in the ribs with the ransack, quick, or I think it's because oh, okay, it does work in PvE then. It's still like you gotta time that shit. But its uptime is so poor. Here's the thing. I'm not advocating that they make the uptime better. If this thing was actually a good uptime, this would be terrible. Like I would not want to see it out there. You know, I wouldn't want to see it with a 50% uptime, because yeah, a lot of people would just start You know, we don't need that. But that's really limited. 3 seconds is like by the time your stab finishes, like you're already counting down. You're already at like 2.5 seconds. So, I'm happy to say it's not like OP. You know, it's not like Earthgore or something. Thank God. All right, so let's move on. We got the other ones. Hannah's Compassion, a light. So we got Magic Recovery, Max Magica, another Recovery, another Max Magica. When you res another player while in combat, the player gains Major Heroism for 15 seconds, granting you 3 every 1.5. Oh my God. That's actually really good. For all the wrong reasons. It's really good for those... For the hordes. For the hordes, this is really good. That's a... Boy. I mean, it's... Look at these bonus... Magic Recovery, Max Magica. Another... It's... Like, you're already pretty solid with that. You get Major Heroism for 15 seconds? That's a lot. It's just you go up in Residue, you get, what is it, 30 ult? Just get 30 ult for resing a guy? God bless. Holy crap, man. So yeah, whoa. Templars are gonna be running around with this and Cags, man. Oh. They're gonna love it. Healers are gonna love it. Major Heroism is very good. It's just like a Warden thing right now. Not anymore. Get ready for a lot more people to be praying and ulting. Oof. That's a good set. That's an effective one. The medium one, Blood Moon, weapon damage, crit. When you deal crit damage with a melee light, you gain a stack of Blood Scent for 8 seconds. When you gain 5 stacks, you become frenzied for 5 seconds, increasing your melee light attack damage by 50% and your attack speed by 50%. It's gonna happen every 18 seconds. That's a short window. This is a werewolf set. When you gain a stack of Blood Scent. So you need to do 5 lights in a row. They don't have to be in succession. But after 5 lights you can become frenzied. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good for a werewolf or whatever. I'm just thinking about overloading on my Stamsork right about now with Rune Prison. Can you turbo overloads out with this? Does that happen? And what about the attack speed? Is that everything or just the light attacks? Like, will this mess with your weave? Does anyone know? Anyone tried this? Fingers uppercut at half the speed. Wait, does it affect skills? No, it doesn't. It can't, right? Kinda, yeah. Yeah, you could pair it with Acuity. I'm wearing it now, go try. Okay. It says melee light attack. Yeah, I mean, but the attack speed is what it ends up boosting. Now, attack speed, for example, like werewolves used to attack much faster with their light attacks. They toned that back. They attacked slower. They're still a bit faster, I believe, but they used to attack really quick. And I wonder if their animations, how they'll even look. We'll try it out. Yeah, Gamerscape, I am going to log in the PTS. We do have the PTS up, too. and we've been popping back and forth, and we'll try that out. I'm just kind of reading through for the most part. So we'll look more at this one. I'll come back to this nice chat about it. But I'm just wondering if that actually increases their weave, because that's a whole nother game then. And I'm not sure. Hang on, someone's telling me to check something. Oh, okay. Got you. Thank you. Okay, you sent the new motifs. Perfect. All right, we'll check. We'll look at that then when we get there. Power Buster light attacks also. Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's right. You would be able to stack that technically. Now the interesting thing about this. See, Empower is one light attack or whatever, right? But the Werewolf one, when we were just in game looking at it, there's a new Werewolf synergy that gives you Empower for 5 seconds for unlimited light attack damage hitting 40% harder. Now, if you paired that Werewolf shit and that synergy with this, they would have to go off at like the same time. But you could technically have 40% plus the 50% with 50% more attack speed, not even accounting for anything else. So that could be a wild burst of unbelievable damage from light attacks. But anyway, or it could be a wild burst of overloads. You could see some guy machine gunning overloads out because he's got some little. I feel like we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see werewolves and Magicosaurus so far. This is what I'm seeing. Werewolves and Magicosaurus just moving through like the shepherds. New meta. All right. Then we have heavy armor. Max health, healing taken, max health. When you take damage while you're under 50% health, summon Ursa's Spirit for 6 seconds. You or an ally can activate a synergy for Ursa to grant a shield that protects you and the activator from about 14k damage for 6 seconds. This effect can occur every 12 seconds. It protects you and the activator. Isn't this like a worse version of the Imperial City set? What's it called? Not Torment. I have this set. I farmed it. There's one that procs one for the group, and it's about the same. Right? Synergy jewelry trait with that? Could, yeah. Yeah, it's a thing. It's not bad. It's okay. It's alright. This is nothing great. Redistributor? No. There's the, there's one from Imperial City. He procs a shield that, hits like 4 to 6 people. And it does about that much, on about that much of a cooldown. I think the cooldown's like 15 or 16 seconds. Brands of Imperium, that's it. So, I think Brands of Imperium is literally better than this set. Right? Brands of Imperium. Max health, healing taken. 12k shield for 6 seconds, 15 second cooldown. 14k shield for 6 seconds, only applies to you and the activator, has to be synergized. Only happens when you are under 50% health. Just saying. Okay. So, Brands isn't controllable. Alright, well, this one you have to get fucked up before you proc it, so take your pick. Alright. Anyway. Generally you're not like, Joe, I'm really getting trashed over here. I'm under 40%. It's go time. Synergize me now. And then they come up and they synergize you. Be like, Joe, I died. I had Mage's Wrath on me. I exploded. So, you know, I don't know. What's up, Joe? Alright, here's the monster set. Weapon damage and spell damage, much like Kina. When you use an ult ability, you gain weapon and spell damage for 10 seconds, equal to twice the amount of the total ult consumed. That's not that much. It's weapon and spell damage. If we could ever get, like, legitimately good hybrid builds, that could be nice. And hybrids do spec, again, I mean, you know, in a hybrid sense, but will this be good on? Who wants all their damage after they ult? Corrosive? This could be good on corrosive. You know, banner, yeah. That's strong, so strong. Not really, like, corrosive's like 200 ult, so that would give you 400 weapon and spell damage. You know, it actually can be good on people that don't have straight upfront burst ults. Say like Destro ult and stuff. It could be really good there. Yeah, this will be good in like larger group play setup where you're going stat based, not proc based or anything like that. Because a lot of people run proc stuff, and there's not a solid way to get a stat based jump unless you go Kina. Alchemist with Dawnbreak. All I mean is, like, if you Dawnbreak and it doesn't even boost it before, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, for example, if you do Destro, you could pop the Destro, and it's like, all right, champ, you're rocking in with your Destro, and you're going to actually boost your damage on it the whole time. That would be good. Werewolf ult 100%. What do you mean? You would transform your werewolf and get some ult from it? Yeah, for sure. You could. But, you know, werewolf's not about transforming and instantly doing a lot of damage. Like, you're transforming into it to commit. It's already expensive. On that last set, the wearer can use this synergy too. Oh, can they? Then only one guy gets the shield? There's other sets that can shield like that then. Definitely a PvE set, is it? Would that be good for PvE rotations? Would this outdo some of the other procs in there? I can't imagine it does, but I don't know. It's interesting, and it can absolutely have use on offensive people, but mainly in your, like, I should say especially on your mid-size and up groups. If you small man PvP in Cyrodiil, you're generally applying a survival set because you need to survive what's coming at you. Not saying people wouldn't use this in that situation, but sometimes you may need like Bloodspawn or Troll King. If you're like 2 or 3 man. Now, if you're like 6 or 8 and you have like say 2 healers, then your DPS might be like, I'm throwing this shit on because when it's go time and I'm ripping my ult, the damage is gonna jump. So that would absolutely be good. And unfortunately, like I fucking hate Magicka Destro trains and stuff, but this would be really good for Destro. This would be really good because that's a pretty expensive ult and it lasts about that length of time, right? Like that would be really good to pair with it. Slime crawl still stronger, is it? I mean, you can get combat prayer for that too, but okay. All right, it's debatable. People will play with it. It's not terrible. This one is kind of meh. But I almost want to say this set looks great. Thumbs up, everybody. Please do not make the uptime stronger because I do not want to see major memes spammed in Cyrodiil. or anything PvP based. That's a crippling thing, especially if you're outnumbered. It's the last thing you need when you're fighting 5 people with 1 or 2 guys is to, be maimed. Oof. Okay. So let's look at some of the other stuff. New Battleground map, which we tried to get into. I will try to more tonight. Hopefully some of you guys can get on the PTS and maybe we can get into the Battleground so we can look at the map. I'd love to see it. It looked cool on the one little picture I saw. New Battleground's been introduced. Built late in the Second Empire to control the chronic pirate problem on the Strid River. Alright. It's a semi-asymmetrical map that also allows players to mount. So yeah, we don't have much info on it. I want to see it though. Keep recall stones. We've added a new method of navigating Cyrodiil. Keep recall stones are new items that you use from your inventory or quick slot wheel to recall to a keep or outpost. They can be purchased for 20k AP or earned from rewards of the worthy. Wow, I can't read today. There are several restrictions. Okay, you cannot recall to a structure that's under attack. That was the big one I was wondering about. So that one's out. You cannot recall to a structure while standing inside the region of a keep, resource, or outpost or town. You cannot use it while actively in combat. Forget about it. I've been in combat since 2015 in Cyrodiil. You kidding me? Like, it's impossible to disengage from combat. Can't use them while in caves. Or wait, they can be used in caves, but not in the IC. They're account bound. They can be banked, but not traded. Cannot use them while carrying an Elder Scroll. So this is just... Okay, so it's nothing really fancy at all, actually. I thought it would kind of add something a little more. I was wondering if you could actually get the places that are under attack. I'll tell you what drives me nuts about Cyrodiil. You fight people that refuse to actually fight back. Well, that's just a personal problem that we have on PCNA sometimes with some people that I fight. Is you'll fight people that won't actually fight back. They'll only play defense. Or they actually avoid the fight. And they just go hit empty keeps that nobody's at. Take the keep for the tick. They just 50-50 blast through it. Nobody can respond in time. So that's part of the problem here that they're trying to alleviate, that we could use a keep recall stone if we're not actively engaged in something or in combat. Which is like, alright guys, everyone run away from the siege field and get out of combat. By the time you do that, port to that keep, run to the one that's under attack, that keep's gone. Like, keeps get taken that quick. That's part of the problem I don't like about those inactive keeps. When you have keeps that constantly get flipped undefended, like, that's a problem. People avoid that stuff. I thought that was going to kind of help with that you could actually get a fight with that. I don't think they'll be relevant. They'll make a difference in the fact that people can move around the map in a different way, but not huge. And the larger groups and the more casual players, they won't be able to keep their groups together. There's going to be a lot of those larger casual people that won't all have stones to spend to constantly do that. So maybe it's an advantage to the smaller players or something, more active guys that probably have plenty to spend on them. I don't know. It's just kind of a movement thing, but I don't think it solves a problem if it was trying to solve one, right? Am I missing something? I thought it was kind of something to maybe solve keeps that were getting taken that were undefended. But it's not going to solve that.
Stick around.
Alright, Alex. Thank you for the host, man. Welcome. Rizza. 24 months. Welcome back. Maybe the resub, brother. Welcome back. They're pointless. Just suicide a resource and resident cut off keep. That's what we do today. That's what we do today. We suicide or we slash stuck to go to a different keep. This is just so you don't have to suicide if you have it. Otherwise, you're going to suicide, right? When a keep is under attack, which is screamed in chat, is not usually flaming till the walls are at 50%. You're telling me a whole Zerg can port to it in an instant, deleting all the rides in Cyrodiil? No, they can't. If the keep's under attack, you can't go to it. That's what it says. All I'm saying is by the time a keep is flagged, if they want that keep, they can 50-50 it. And if you port to a different one, by the time you get there, then you're not going to be able to save it. It would still be gone. My point is it wouldn't solve that problem if that's the problem it was trying to fix. I'm not entirely sure how to solve it. I think the best way to solve that is to make it so if you're going to take a backline keep that's completely undefended, you can't do it quickly. It takes much longer than hitting a frontline keep. That's how it should be in my opinion. Because I don't like when people, and it's constant, in all the years I've played in this game, when people feel outmatched and outgunned, because they probably are, even if their numbers are even and everything, they're just like, hey, we can't fight this fight. Let's just go hit a keep where there's nobody defending it. You literally go to an enemy keep that's very important, but they're trying to push the map. You take it, and then you're just, okay, now we're on defense. We're defense in the middle of their area. We just took an undefended keep. Like, you can't keep people on defense at Gladimus when you're down pushing Black Boot or some shit. You know, you can't do it. But people will go do that. They go snag out these things, and then they just set up siege inside it. Okay? You guys know what I'm talking about, alright? You know who does this every time I go to Cyrodiil. Same shit every time. Pigeon Boy, thank you for gifting Scander a sub. Welcome, Scander. Thank you, Pigeon Boy. Appreciate that. Finger, she missed the point. What point did I miss? What was the point? I think it will be useful to get to a keep when you see someone say in the chat they're about to siege a keep. That, yes. I'm not saying it's useless. I'm saying it doesn't solve a problem of... Generally, you don't keep lookouts at every one of your keeps. If you have a scroll keep at the top left of the map and you're at the bottom, you know, mid to bottom right, and someone's back there hitting that, by the time it's bursted, if you used a keep recall stone or you slash stuck or whatever you did, you may run back there. They've already taken the scroll. They're already on the move with it, right? That's part of what always devalued Cyrodiil map for me. It really did devalue the map. So it almost doesn't feel like you're moving the chains forward because your back line's always just blown wide open. But that's just my opinion. I know some will disagree. That's fine. Some people like to go hit a keep that's very important to the enemy that nobody's going to be at because it's not on the front line. And nobody wants to sit at Gladimus like on a Friday night. Just be like, it's cool. I'm just going to sit at Glade from 8 to 11 p.m. If anybody attacks it, I'll give you all heads up. And they just sit there and eat, you know, Doritos on the wall, waiting for somebody to come hit it. Because I don't know what else you're going to do if someone's going to come up and 50-50 the walls down. You know? So, that's all. On PS4, there's a lot of lookouts. Well, maybe there's a lot more people that want to eat Doritos and sit on the walls. Yummy burrito. On PCNA, there's not. Alright, we will see the keep just get ripped down because we're on the front line trying to fight stuff, alright? That's fine. It's all good. I'm not saying this is bad. Believe me, this is a nice addition. We're going to get these in Rewards of the Worthy and we can buy them. They're not super expensive at all. There's going to be pinch moments where you're absolutely going to want these, and they will be nice to have. It may become frustrating for people that are in the middle of sieging a place and they have to not only run outside the zone, so every point of interest on the map has like a zone to it attached. So you have to run outside the zone and be out of combat, and then you can port. So if you do have stuff like lookouts and all that stuff, then absolutely that'll help. Okay. So it's not a bad thing. These are good. I'm just saying it doesn't fix that problem. If you want to fix that problem, you got to make idle keep stronger. Farther back a keep is, the stronger it should be, probably, or something. It's walls. I don't know. Either way, let's move on. Let's keep it rolling. Battleground outfit styles. We've added a new outfit style to Battlegrounds! Exclamation point. Now, when you complete a Battleground, you have a chance to obtain an outfit style for the Pit Demons, the Stormlords, and Fire Drakes' unique armor appearances. The Pit Demon outfits are obtained by completing deathmatch games. Stormlords obtained by completing flag games. Fire Drake's outfit are obtained by completing land grab games, otherwise known as hold block and stand on the flag. Avoid PvP games. The chance of obtaining an outfit style is based on how well your team performed in the battleground. Victors have a much higher chance to obtain an outfit style than do second place finishers, and have a much better chance than third place. However, even teams coming in dead last have a small chance to obtain an outfit style, because that's how it goes. The medals you obtain do not affect your chances at all, so you don't have to be fancy, just try to be victorious. Placing on the leaderboards for Battlegrounds also has a very good chance to award an outfit style from each of the 3 teams' armor visuals. So I'm interested to check these ones out. Maybe we can pop in and see these. Or actually, you know what? No, someone linked me. Here we are. Okay. I guess that's the Fire Drakes. That looks like the Stormlords. Wow. What resolution is that? High res? This chin. Oof. Oh god. Okay. These sets are amazing. Not that amazing. I'm not sure if these are lower res or something. Okay. They look excellent. The green helmet looks cool. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we all have our opinions. We'll check them out in game. Hopefully we can see them in game. I'll take a gander at them. I'm always a fan of these rewards, though. I think this was great that they added BG rewards this past patch. It forced me onto playing other characters in BGs to do dailies, and I actually enjoyed the hell out of it. So, having rewards in there is actually a really good idea. So I'm glad they are doing that. And they added some to Cyrodiil too. New PvP collectible. The new Arena Gladiator costume is now available. To those who would conquer their foes mercilessly, simply collect 50 Arena Gladiator proofs found by completing the Conquest dailies in Cyrodiil, and purchase an Arena Gladiator's Exaltation from a War Researcher for 10k AP. Use this to become the 50 proofs, create a room box, the Arena Gladiator costume. Okay. It's a really interesting process. Okay. So there's another Gladiator costume. Do we have a picture or a link on that? There were 5 polygons shared between them all. The respec system we looked at. This I already showed off at the start. Anyone who loses a skill tree such as Vampire or Werewolf will now have all the skill lines in the associated tree refunded. Perfect. That's good. This didn't used to happen. This will also apply retroactively. Also a double good. Double excellent. If you still have points in your Vampire and you cured it, you lost your skill points until you we're able to go and clear them properly. I have a pic. Allow me. Can you send it to me on Discord? Doinks. Now we just need more IC PvP rewards. I know, Chimney Swift. Don't listen. Don't be toxic. All right. Don't be toxic. Do what they can. I'm ready for the IC rewards. I'm ready for all the incentives in IC. I'm ready for IC to be rebuilt to its former glory. We're all ready. Every one of us. All right. Yeah, Doinks, just PM me or something if you have it. And I'll pull it up here because I need to look at it before I pull it up on stream. All right, we have another motif here. It's available from the Cloudrest trial. This motif is proudly worn by Griffin riding Welkanar themselves, and now you can earn the right to wear and craft this armor too, if you can defeat Zamaja. Is that how we say the name? I defeated him yesterday, actually. 3 times. One time we did it in first-person mode, while staring at the ground. That one felt good. You can earn the motif fragments by defeating him, or earn by defeating on harder difficulties. She will not drop any fragments unless fought on vet mode, or on normal mode with all of the Welkanar Shade allies. The amount of fragments dropped is not randomized, but based on a configuration of final boss fight. The harder the fight, the more fragments. Okay. Oh, okay. So only on normal with all 3 bosses will you'll get a measly 1. Just a 1. I like this. This is good. This is the kind of table I would have never expected. Way to go, Rich. Way to take a stand. So normal you only get it with 3 bosses, and then vet you got it, you can work your way up here. You're proud of me that I defeated the Sea Slowed Majum first person. Thank you. This is all the +3 and +1 shit you see in chat. Yeah, no, I get it now. Yeah, I understand. Okay, hang on. Oh, is this the new motif? Okay, hang on. Let's pull this up. Okay, so this is the Gladiator. How ironic that you would not get this in Battlegrounds, but you would get this in Cyrodiil. For people that probably complete this PB Doring. But it looks cool. I like it. I will crush my foes to get this. It will be done. That looks good. They buffed Arctic Wind. Alright, listen, I didn't get to that yet. Alright, I don't... Let's stick with the patch notes here. Alright, you can earn the bindings once a week by completing the quest Woe of the Welkaners. So, is that an alliteration? It's a quest in Cloudrest. By activating the binding, which consumes 12 style motif fragments, you will create a single random motif chapter, or very rarely the full book. Okay. Alright, so new motif tied to Cloudrest. This is the new trial, which is not bad because it's real packed together, and it's just like a couple fights in a row. You'll probably, I don't know, you probably will see me doing some more of this on stream too. I got my, I farmed my new armor there that we're going to try out in PvE when this patch rolls around. So, new homes. Be aware of that. Feel free to check them out. That's I'm not even gonna look at it. I can't afford all the homes. It's too many crowns for me. Updated bug categories. You'll find that we've updated categories. You'll see when submitting issues through bug. Thank God. I actually have been using this a lot. Categories are now better defined, and subcategories encompass more relevant and current in-game systems. Good. I was stuck on this for like 5 minutes one stream. I didn't even know where to report it. So that's good. That one's actually relevant to me. Champion point increase. All right, they moved everything up by 30. 10 each tree. So we're up by 30 again. Perfect. Templates. All right, this is PTS info. So this is just stuff for if you're on the PTS. Alliance War. Captured, keep, and scroll bonuses are currently not applying. Okay. Oh, these are just known issues. Okay, that's not. These are just PTS FYIs. The Blade of Woe is no longer available against all Blood Fiends. What? Dark Brotherhood? Okay. Dragon Bones. Fix an issue where defeating Zon and Scale Callers on vet mode would sometimes result in 2 motif chapters dropping. Now you'll always receive a single motif when defeating Zon. Oh, baby. We should get in there and farm it. Dungeons, Imperial City Prison. The Brace for Impact. Okay. They're still having problems with Brace for Impact. Perfect. What else do we have? Added missing textures to the Wine Stomp barrels. Improve the collision on various assets so you no longer appear to float or sink through the floor. And updated some assets to better match what they represent. Okay. Fix an issue where salamanders wouldn't stop slithering. Alright, I'm going to move. Alchemist thing will now reveal clams. Okay. Yippee was farming clams all the time. So now you can always see them. They always have something. Jewelry crafting. Added interaction text to the jewelry writ. Someone was telling me in the stream there's something wrong with the jewelry writ. I'm sorry, I'm power reading through it. I don't think, okay. Just fix some issues with jewelry crafting. That's kind of all minor, I think. Heavy sacks can have them. Interaction, text, okay. Alright, fishing. Alright, we really got to move along here. Housing. Sorry, I apologize. I do skip by some of these. What section is this? Oh, these are quests. I'm good on that. Alright, here we go. Combat and abilities. God bless. Here we go. We've made numerous ability changes with the latest update. Global implications. Others are specific tweaks. Quality of life changes. Some of our major goals with these changes include improving the werewolf gameplay and quality of life. Several abilities received significant adjustments. Leveling the skill line is considerably easier, and werewolves are now capable of doing more core combat actions such as resurrecting and using synergies. Oh man, you can do werewolf synergy now? Oh baby, this is good. Reducing the duration of snare and defile effects. Abilities and item sets that apply snares or defile debuffs on enemies have had their duration significantly reduced. That's a good thing. That is a really good thing. That's quality of life. Since most of the changes were made to damage over time abilities, you will have to recast those abilities earlier to keep an enemy permanently snared, which sacrifices some damage. Most of the area of effect snaring abilities were untouched, though, since the counterplay is just to move out of the area of effect. That's what I tell you guys. It's always on your death recap. You just need to move out of the AoE when you die to 5 siege. Hint: move out of the AoE. All right. These are good though. Increase the viability of some older sets. A few item sets have received some dramatic redesigns, while others were simply buffed to improve their usage. Okay. I think they can do this with it. And they'd probably agree they can do that with a lot. Either reworking some or adjusting numbers. There's some sets that it's like, this is the same thing as that, except this one's weaker. But let's see what we got. Increase the movement speed of all monsters summoned from your abilities and item sets by 25%. Oh, okay, so this is like two-piece head stuff. Monsters now have 50% total move speed bonus. They can keep pace with you while you're using sprint or have major expedition, but stacking move speed bonuses will allow you to outrun them. Okay. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, because some of them were kind of slow and dumb. Well, that's cool for people that do use them, and people do. I've seen Shadowrun is used a lot, but you know, if you have like the Daedroth guy, you know, you'll keep up at least. So, a visual effect will now appear over your character's head when using Detect Pots, Mage Light, or Expert Hunter to notify other players of your ability to see sneaking and invisible enemies. I don't know about that. Alright, whatever. Decrease the range of two-handed, dual-wield, one-handed and shield, unarmed, and werewolf heavy attacks to 7. Wait, decrease them to 7 from 10. Huh. The range for melee heavy attacks now matches other melee cast time and channeled abilities such as Uppercut and Flurry. Okay. Alright. We'll have to see about that one. See if that one's felt. Fix an issue where casting certain self-target abilities such as Spiked Armor, Dark Exchange, and Imbue Weapon would remove you from Sneak. Oh, wow. Yeah, a lot of abilities in the game take you out of Sneak. A lot of self-buffs. Alright, DK. Ardent Flame. Whirled and Ruin. This ability now also increases damage over time component of Fiery Breath and its morphs. Okay. So increases the damage over time component. Warmth. This ability now only snares the target when you deal direct damage with an Ardent Flame ability. It was any type of damage. Okay. It was any type of damage? I thought it was just Ardent Flame abilities. Decrease the duration of the snare to 3 seconds for all ranks. Previously it maxed at 4. Okay, so they shaved off a second. Draconic Power, Reflective Scale morph. This ability now also grants 2 seconds of immunity to snare and immobilize. That I like. That's a nice one. Wow, Magic DKs must love that. I use this on my Stam DK right now. I was actually using this and Shuffle. I wouldn't cast both at the same time, but I didn't want to keep casting Shuffle all the time. And sometimes I get rooted by, like, say, Cripple from range. Throw that up, and then you can reflect and engage. That's really nice. That is very nice. That is very nice. 2 seconds of immunity to snare, like, that's huge. That will be felt. That will be noticed. There will be tips of the hats from that. That's pretty cool. And again, I think even Stam DKs, they get some they get something out of that because they're able to clear snares with a Magicka ability too. So they can build to that as well. Because it's a nice skill too that reflects. There's now they just need to change crystal fragments back to so you can reflect those big stuns. So you can drop the wings out, see a fragment bounce back and knock a Sork on his ass and engage him. Instead we're just getting Rune Prism. Wondering what the hell's going on. But alright. I'm sure we'll get to that. Nightblade, Assassination, Deathstroke, Incap Morph. We've been talking about Incap for some time. This ability now only stuns your enemy if your current health percentage is lower than the target's. Oh man. That is relevant. That matters a lot. It's almost as if you have to use your brain when incapping if you want to stun somebody. Still a very strong ult. Can still be used, with stealth combo and just do a surprise attack incap or whatever. But that's an excellent change. I'm surprised. Now, how long's do you guys know how long's the Defile last on incap? Because they're talking about toning back Defiles. How long's incaps last? Anyone know? Why not just remove the CC entirely? It can be used as a defensive measure. Someone comes up and dawn breaks you and you CC break, you start healing, you turn around, you incap them. It's used as a defensive measure to kind of live too. 6 seconds? Okay. Okay. So it's still vicious. You have to understand incap's very cheap as well. Because it's also giving you the damage amp on top of everything. Which isn't factored as a major or minor buff. For what reason, no one knows. Unknown. That's a change I approve. Maybe Gilliam put that in. Maybe that was Gilliam's work. Gilliam starts work today, guys. And he already made a change. God bless Gilliam. Already getting it done. Alright, Grim Focus, Merciless Resolve Morph. Remove the snare from this ability. Good. I agree. Good. Tired of being snared by shit. We got enough snares out there. You can slap on a dual wield slow or a two-handed slow, like the rest of the classes have to. Unless you're DK. I feel like DK's. I'm already enjoying the hell out of my DK recently, but I might amp it up to another level with it. I might start just leaping all over the place with that thing. Just wings out, baby. I'm amped about it. I thought Gilliam gave us slows, though. No. I already explained about slows. Alright. As soon as I did Cloud Rest, I understood. I think the slowed set was put in as part of the immersion of the game. Okay. Because the sea slows are I didn't understand they're these evil creatures, right? So I think the set was kind of put in to upset the balance within Tamriel as a whole, right? And hopefully the Werewolf patch would allow some other force to come in and restore balance to Tamriel. However, maybe not. We haven't got to that yet. Or I don't know if they made changes yet to it. We'll get there. All right. So we'll figure it out. Shadow. Aspect of Terror. Decrease the duration of the snare from this ability morphs to 2 seconds from 4. Good. Excellent. Anything that's reducing snares, I am 100% behind. I'm tired of limping around in PvP. And I'm sure there's a lot of people tired of having to spam things constantly to cut off their snares. Big reason you can't use medium and just use shuffle. I'm using forward momentum on a lot of medium builds, and it's dumb, you know. That's good. Shadow Cloak, Dark Cloak morph. Fixed an issue where casting this ability was removing you from sneak. Okay, good. There we go. Good fix. Perfect. Siphon and Cripple. Decrease duration of the snare. And the Major Expedition buff from this ability. It's morphs to 4 seconds from 8. Excellent. Nightblade's getting packed up. I can actually feel a little better about playing it now. There's nothing in here that would lead me to believe that any Nightblades I know that are good playing right now that would have any issues. I could be wrong. But I think a lot of the Nightblades wouldn't have an issue. That one and the... I think, like, especially the Incap, this is just a matter of learning to play with it. This one's just... That's straight numbers, and that will take adjusting. But, you know, Magicosaurus, we were just talking about how Magicosaurus used to have shields that lasted 20 seconds, okay? They're far off from that now, today. 8 seconds is a lot. For what Cripple already did. It's not like it's... Here's a buff. I mean, this thing was slowing and boosting speed for 8 seconds. On top of doing other shit, huh? You know?
How do you like your ribs?
Astro and Scooter bad? Not bad so far, Jar Jar. What's up, Vigors? Thank you for the 100 bits. Time to spam wings while being zerged down. That's right. You'll look damn good while you're dying. And you won't be snared. Joe Hudson agrees, too. Excellent, excellent. Alright. So we're done with Nightblade. We're done with Dragon Knight. Here we go. Sork. Dark Magic. Rune Prison. Rune Cage Morph. Decrease the damage done from this ability by approximately 20%. Is that really it? Wait, are you serious? Is that it? Decrease the damage done from this ability? Alright. Wait, don't they have the class reps now? Alright. Who's representing the sorcerers on the class rep system? Because Rune Prism, we don't have an issue with the damage, okay? Let me tell you, there's... If you had to do a multiple choice, you gave us all a Scantron, no one's gonna put too much damage. Oh, the Rune Cage is just... It's hurting so bad. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Alright, this will probably be changed. If I put my money on anything that's being changed that I've read so far, it's this. Rune Cage is not working properly. I used this last night on my Stamsork and I was absolutely shitting on people that didn't know what the fuck was going on. Because this thing is broken. It is messed up. This needs to be taken back to the drawing board. Yes, the drawing board. You need to fit out everything that it does and be like it's doing too much on a class that has a lot. This thing's wrong. This one needs to be reworked, okay? Of all the things so far. Sage Toad, thank you for the host, man. Welcome. Thank you again. Can I get a shout out for Sage Toad? I appreciate that. We're going through the patch notes here. Oh my god, it's not even a nerf. You can't even call it a nerf. It's not even a nerf. Alright? That'd be like increasing the cost of it by like 100 Magicka. Like, it doesn't matter. You know? Tamerlane's the Sork rep? He probably is. Tamerlane... Oh man. Hopefully not. Tamerlane doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Rune Cage needs to be revisited. I'll give my opinion on it. Rune Cage used to work a lot different, okay? I think at a point we had a cast time on it. It was a stun that immediately broke when you took damage. I don't think it ever did damage at a point. It had so many things that It wasn't just different ones. It had all those things. So you actually upgraded it to be like, you know what? It's instant cast. You know what? It goes through everything. Block and roll, dodge, okay. It has my max range. My tooltip was like 40 meters or something, right? Max range. Because here's the thing: there's no counterplay to it. You can't put stuff in with no counterplay like that. You just can't. It's so bad. It because when people get hit by it, what runs through my head every fucking time when I know it's coming and it fucking happens anyway, it's like, what was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? You can't do anything. You can't play to it. You know it's coming, you get fucked anyway. Someone drops a meteor, they already have a curse on you that's about to blow up. They put an execute on you before the fact, and you know it. You're like, rune cage is coming, rune cage is coming. Boom, rune cage hits you, it all fucking hits you at once and you die. It is just very bad design. If you PvP, you would understand why. This one needs to be reworked. I'm just going to stress it so that it gets done. Because of anything in the patch, it's one of the most gruesomely poor design skills in the game right now. It's just, nothing's ever really been like so brutally nasty as this. It's also a little delayed to break it. But so is Petrify, Fear can be, so is Time Stop. But when it has everything else on a class that has everything already, it's a little dangerous. And it's very annoying. And that's why we have Magicosaurus everywhere. So this was the wrong thing. You could amp the damage. You can buff the damage by 50%, but you gotta take away some of the shit. Doesn't have a fucking cast time. It needs to break when you take damage or something. If it's up to me, like, do something else and put the stun back on fragments, okay? What happened is the stun was removed from crystal fragments so that people would be more enticed to use the other morph of crystal fragments that nobody uses. Okay? Does that sound crazy? It does, because it is crazy. You actually ruined a skill that was working well to entice people to use a skill that nobody's still using and nobody wants to use because it doesn't fit the class design. It just doesn't work. There's other tools that do it better. Crystal Frag having a stun was good for a couple reasons. You could actually visually see the sorcerer's hands glow, and you knew he had a fragment. And it was a projectile. It wasn't instant. This allowed counterplay. Big key word that does not involve Rune Prison. Rune Prison does not have counterplay. Alright, Fragment had counterplay. You could be like the guys about the frag. I could roll dodge it. I could choose to also block it, maybe. There were options there. If you're a Dragon Knight, maybe you're going to reflect it. Alright? This is where combat gets very interesting. It's not interesting when you get hit by an uncounterable skill. That is not interesting. Alright, maybe this is the sea slodes coming again, and it's just part of the lore. But, like, we need to go back. Alright? So that's my little rant on it. I missed the fragment stunning. Fragment stunning was fun. It was a big punch of damage. Yeah, it could happen. A better Sork would be able to use it. But I mean, it seems to me it was changed to lower the ceiling. But to what end? You know, skills like Rune Prism raise the floor so high, everybody's neck deep. Okay? It's, so I imagine Rune Prism will get changed. I'm just stressing it because it's important to stress things that are really breaking gameplay. And to be quite honest with you, I feel Rune Prism breaks gameplay more than Slodes or anything else this patch right now. It's really nasty. Now, if you don't encounter it much, then maybe you don't feel it. But it's bad. It's really bad. It's very poorly designed. When you put it in the hands of a good player, it's terrible. It's a terrible experience. So let's take Rune Prism back to a drawing board. All right, and just start over with it. Okay. People compare it to DK's Petrify. Very different. Okay. You know if a DK's closed in he's closed the distance on you. All right, he has pushed through, and he is now in range, and you know a Dragon Knight can do that. You know he can petrify you. You're aware it's coming. The Dragon Knight can hit hard. He can leap too after. All right, it's fine. He does not have a pre-execute that he applied with a curse that was also pre-applied, and potentially maybe a fragment that's already proc that's going to do amp damage. Okay, very different, and he's not doing it all from max range. Very different. So, anyway, let's move on. Storm Calling. Mage's Fury. Fix an issue where dodging this ability is Morse would still apply the Execute Explosion to debuff you. That's true, it did. Okay, so, now what this means is you can dodge the actual cast. Now, if someone casts it on you and hits you, and you're roll dodging, and you fall under health, you'll still explode, which is fine. Magic Sorks are so damn vicious right now. I think ever since light attacks were increased, their ability to just weave and throw a curse on you with a pre-execute, it literally feels like your health is about 50% lower. Like if you drop to about 50%, you could just instantly die, basically. So as a result, you're constantly running heals over time and you know, topping yourself off, and it makes it very hard to engage these guys. You know, this is nice. I feel like Mage's Fury should be knocked down a second or two on its application time, to like 2 to 3 seconds before it needs to be reapplied. If you're going to even have that at all, you know, or just move it to like the Impale category. Impale's kind of shitty, right? But it's pretty brutal having like 3 things pre-applied before the fact that will all blow up together and instantly kill people. People out there that don't have good experience, they stand no goddamn chance. They're so easy to kill, and you're killing them from max range. It's very safe. Hey, Emph, how you doing? Finish, will you push for the Magic Sword to have Frag CC back? If Zoss gave us that back, I could care less about what happens to Rune Cage. Yeah, that's what I just said, Claster. I think it was good to have that because it promoted gameplay that had counterplay. The game should not shy away from having options of counterplay. That's all I'm saying. Things that can potentially do high damage, which you would consider high reward, should be risky. They shouldn't be free. They shouldn't be automatic. Same thing goes with proc sets. Your strong proc sets should not be free. They should be the harder conditioned ones to land. They should be the ones that don't always work. The middle ground and weaker proc sets, they should be the easy ones. They should be the ones where, you know, press, you know, forward and your set will proc. Like, because that's what Slodes is. You just walk around and that shit just starts procking on people. It's dumb. Submaster, thank you for gifting Daz PK. Welcome in. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody rolling in here as well. Sorry, we're cruising through here. I only kind of chat back and forth because, you know, I'm going to post this on YouTube, so I'll say hi to everybody more after this. But, alright, so let's move through. So that's Sork. Oh yeah, Overload. Fix an issue where the heavy attack from this ability in Smorsh could not proc weapon enchantments or poisons. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I'd love to see a patch where Overload heavy attack just becomes, like, brutally strong. The thing where it kind of, like, I feel hope was lost is everything recently, they're amping up light attacks. They're making light attacks stronger and stronger. That's a direction I'm not fond of either. At its core, light attacking is the most basic and simple thing in the game. Making it stronger is just... It's just like, do you have more people left-clicking? More DPS is coming out now. Heavy attacks, you at least had to wind up. If you see someone winding up, you could dodge it. You could block it. But if they didn't dodge it or block it, they should take, you know, a pretty good chunk of damage. But, you know, whatever. I don't think we're ever gonna see the Overload dream. We're never gonna see someone just come over a crowd and just lightning them all down. The Emperor Palpatine build. That's right. Alright, Templar, Dawn's Wrath, Radiant Destruction, increase the max bonus execute damage dealt by this ability in S'mores to 400 from 330%. They making a comeback on PvE?
Hello, cutie pie.
I think this might be a PvE change,
One
right?
of us is in deep trouble.
I mean, it'll affect PvP, but usually when someone's DPS falls off in PvE town, they up the damage of other classes' executes. It's usually how it goes. Dank Scrolls OG. Gift and nades. Thank you, man. Welcome. Fix the Overload heavy attack animation glitch where it gets stuck and jammed up. That's a thing too, yeah. Overload in general is a bit difficult to use at times, and that affects it. But it'd be fun to, one time, just cruise over a crowd with heavy Overload. I just did a 42k DPS test on Stan DK with Werewolf, just light attacking with the new attack speed set. Wow. Wow. Karotha, you passed your defense and you're free? Congratulations, man. That's excellent news, brother. Alright, let me get through this. Solar Flare, Dark Flare Morph. Decrease the duration of the Major Defile to 4 from 6. Perfect. Right in line with the other stuff. These are good changes. The Defile and the Snare changes, all across the board, I've been very happy with. I'm happy to hear them. Moontan, what's up? Coming in with the host. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. Get a shout out for Moontan. Big Nightblade. Packs them up around here. We just got past Nightblade, actually. I'm okay with a lot of those changes. How about you, Moontan? Where do you weigh in on the Nightblade changes? I guess some of them felt more like Magicka Nightblade changes, though. Outside of like in-cap, you know. Oh, wait, Moontan, you got a reply? It worked? You got badged up? Do you think this set Blood Moon will be busted on Werewolf? Increased light attacks. It was made for Werewolf, Stanky. Yeah, I think it'll be very strong, yes. Busted? We'll see. But I think it's very strong, yes. You got partnered today. Congratulations, Moontan. It's good stuff. I was in there earlier saying he's been waiting like 8 weeks. Yeah, it was a busy season. There was a lot of cons in the past few months. In-cap, no big deal. Combo with Fear, surprise attack. Right, exactly. So you have Fear. I mean, you can still come in and surprise attack people and still stun them and set them off bounce. That's still a thing. Fear is definitely a more vicious CC. Yeah, I think people will be more upset about the other ones like Cripple and stuff. I think that'll upset people more. But anyway, let me stay on course here. Restoring Light, Healing Ritual. By the way, guys, if anyone can get on the PTS, please get it so we can try to see the Battlegrounds, because I want to queue in and I want to show that. I not just show it, I want to see it too. I really want to see the Battlegrounds, and I couldn't get enough people to get in the match. So if anyone can get the PTS or get on in a little when I'm done this, I want to try it. Restoring Light, Healing Ritual, Ritual Rebirth, More fix an issue where you could dodge a secondary heal from this ability. You could dodge the heal. Yikes. Okay, so that's good. Remember, wasn't there a bug with Shuffle before where you could dodge the heals, I think? That was terrible. Your own dodge percentage would allow you to dodge friendly heals and stuff. Anyway, Rune Focus. This is your armor buff. This ability in its morphs now apply Major and Ward and Resolve. And all morph effects to you directly for 15 seconds. Wait, it's just 15 seconds flat? Wasn't it 8 before? Once you leave the thing, you could come back into it? Am I correct on that? I think if you placed it, it was either 6 or 8 seconds. I think it was 8. and you left, and you could either come back and refresh it for 8. But now it's just 15 flat. You cast it 15 seconds. You're good. That's actually quite big in my opinion, especially for Stamplar. There's a lot of times you really get engaged in a fight on a Stamplar, and you're not casting that every 8 seconds. Yeah, it was 8. That's really good. That is huge. In my opinion, that's pretty big. Like I like that. I really like that change. That's nice. Standing within the area now increases the ward and resolve effects by 50%. You can protect this house now. Do you think they were watching the stream like last week when I was saying protect the house and I was making fun of it? Or are you thinking this probably already happened? Wow, that's crazy. Developer comments. The new design of Rune Focus closely matches the fast action combat while still preserving the original feel of an area of protection. I'm very disappointed it doesn't say while still preserving the original intention of protecting the house. Alright. It should have been edited by Gina. Missed opportunities. That's awesome though. That's actually really cool. For magic or stamina Templars. But more so on the Stamplar. I've been playing both. Like, those are 2 classes I'm gonna try to do builds for this week that I'm running in BGs. But Stamplar, I'm running that issue a lot more often. There's a lot of times you can start tearing ass up on a Stamplar and you don't get back to reapplying that buff because you already have to go back. You have to reapply forward momentum. You're draining bodies, you're vigoring. Then you have to power light your target, wind up heavies. Like to actually sit in, and you're purifying a lot too, because you're slowed it all the time. So like to actually go and cast that a lot, that's a really good one. That's a big change for them, I think, in my opinion. So increase the cost of the ability restoring focus from to 2,700 from 1,890. Okay. And then increase the cost of the other one to 1,890 from. Okay, so they increase costs, but that makes up for the fact that you don't have to cast it as much. And they frankly like doubled the effect time without doubling the cost. So God bless that. That was a great change. Go Templars. Who'd have thought I'd ever say that? But that one makes sense, in my opinion. Warden. Animal Companions. Cliff Racer. Screaming Cliff Racer Morph. Fix an issue where the casting this ability would not orient your character to face the target. Okay. Green Balance. Lotus Flower. Fix an issue where this ability in S'mores did not work with light and heavy attacks from the Mend Wounds ability. Mend Wounds is the passive, right? Which passive's Mend Wounds? Was that the one Is that the one that actually gave you major, whatever it's called, toughness? Or minor toughness? Or is this the one that gave you the passive healing boost? Lotus Flower's the buff you put on, by the way, guys. There's a magic and stamina morph. They boost your crit rate, but the passive Mend Wounds, what's that? It's a Psijic ability that converts your attacks to heals. Oh! So it did not work with the light and heavies from Mend Wounds. I see. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Got you. So Mend Wounds is the Psijic ability that heals, right? So if you do the throwing heal with Mend Wounds, you can get a double time heal with the Warden, I guess, right? That'd be pretty cool. Okay. Cool. Good fix. Winner's Embrace. Arctic Wind. Increase the initial heal from this ability and S'mores to 15% of your health from 12%. Okay. I hate those Ice Warden tanks. But alright. Hate them. Weapon, one-handed shield, power bash. Reverb Bash, Morph. Decrease the duration of major defile to 4 seconds from 10. Wow, that's big. Good. Not upset about that at all. That's a good.
You son of a bitch.
This makes it, this and the snares, it just makes it easier to pick a class and be able to function without Purify. There's so many things where it'd be like, oh, I'm sniped. You gotta wait it out, guys, you know? Or do I have a Templar? Awful, not good. Why? Why is this not good? I don't like debuffs that last that long. Why would you hate on a single target debuff on a low damage line? On a low damage line? Because they're exactly that, like people that will come in and mega tank and just slam down debuffs. You can still one-handed and shield in PvP and be very effective with it. You don't need to have something lasting 10 seconds. The ability to just stack all these major debuffs and these snares and stuff is just crippling the players. It's crippling when you're outnumbered.
Son of a bitch.
Alright. Not really needed in my opinion. Now reverb's a pretty expensive skill. I'm surprised they didn't change that with changing that major defile. I'm happy to see all of them come down in time is my point. But like the the duration, the ability to just fire a debuff on somebody, and that guy is going to get tackled by multiple other people doing a bunch of stuff because one guy applied something on him 8 seconds ago and he can't recover still. You know, that I don't like. Anyway, dual wield, lacerate, fixed an issue where this ability and Smorfs can sometimes heal you based on the damage dealt from abilities happening at the same time. Okay. Twin slashes, rending, decrease the duration of the snare to 4 from 9. This is another one. I use rending on a lot of them right now. Like that's fine. You know. Happy to see it. Happy if these things get slashed across the board. I'm tired of crippling effects in Cyrodiil. It's been so long since I can remember going to Cyrodiil not having most of these things applied on you. Almost the whole time if you're fighting, you know, more than 5 to 10 people, which is pretty much anywhere you go in Cyrodiil. So, you know which one they didn't touch on is the Warden one, the ice one. That one is brutal. If you don't have forward momentum and that Warden's around putting the ice thing down, like, whew, good luck. Wonder if they probably didn't touch the Sijic skill either. That one's pretty rough. The Sijic bubble being spammed everywhere. That thing should not be spammed everywhere the way it is right now. It's the large area of denial bubbles. That's not a great thing either. But because it's not like giant area of denial beats the Zerg. It generally empowers the Zerg. The Zerg just runs a lot of them all over. You're like, cool, we have this time stop. We'll cast it on these 50 guys running up the steps. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to have 15 Sijic bubbles in the small room that you're in. And your big plans of throwing down one time stop on them turns into having 15 on you. You know, it doesn't work. Same thing as, you know, detonate, you know. Joe, stop trolling. You know what else maybe we didn't get to it. I don't know if they changed Shuffle. Shuffle should be changed too. Shuffle and forward momentum should have kind of been switched. In my opinion, Shuffle should be the longest immunity you really have. Alright, they're just forcing people to always run these two-handed comps. Shuffle having 2-second immunity is too low. Forward momentum's probably too high. Should be like 5 seconds on Shuffle, at least. But anyway, So dual wield, there we go. Bow, arrow spray, decrease the duration of the snare applied from this ability. It's more to 4 from 6. Okay, same thing. Scatter shot, fix an issue where using roll dodge immediately after casting this ability. It's more would prevent the enemy from gaining crowd control immunity after you knock them back. Oh man, where's who's the guy on PCNA? He's been doing this shit all the time in BGs. Thogard, you remember? Who's that clown shoe shitter? He just runs around roll dodging people. He just sits there constantly rolling and scatter shotting over and over. Such a smacked asshole, man. Well, there goes his build, abusing that bug. That's good. If you don't know what this was, you could basically, someone could roll dodge and hit you with a CC where it does like the knockback where you fly back for a second, and it's like a stutter. It's like the old jabs from way back when your character was like, it's like you're mini stunned. You are stunned pretty much. You can't do anything, and you get knocked back. But they could keep doing it over and over on you. It's really fucking annoying. Solar? Is it? Nice guy, though. Okay. Well, I saw some guy doing it, Thogard, and I fought him a couple times. I'm like, that's all this guy does, you know? You could pack him up still easy, but it's so gimmicky, you know? Lucien stopped doing it. Lucien Dawnbreaker or whatever that... Good. Okay. Well, it looks like it's getting fixed. Snipe, lethal arrow, decreased. Decrease the duration of defile to 4 from 10. Good. This is a big one. This one happens more than reverb. You will get hit with lethal arrows in the middle of fights, and you are debuffed for 10 seconds. This one should definitely be shorter than the reverb one. The reverb one has risk to it. Now, reverb, again, I said it's an expensive skill, which it is. It is a stun as well, though. Lethal arrow does lose some of its value in the fact that the debuff's only 4, but between them, this one's like, again, it's a low risk. You just fire lethal in from the edge. You don't want to be able to major defile somebody for 10 seconds. So I'm happy that's there. Alright, World, Vampire, curing vampirism will now refund all skill points. Good. This is a fix. If you've ever had vampirism and you cured it, without first respecking your skill points, then they're still stuck in that tree, basically. Just FYI, that's how that works. Yeah, Mercy, I see you don't like it. There's a lot of people that do like the reverb change. Another reason, Mercy, is when you have things that last that long, Mercy, when you have something like reverb that lasts that long, it becomes so core to dueling. I will see people, I will duel them, and they'll just like, I have this build, and I'm using Sword and Board, and thus I shall ransack you, and I shall place thy reverb on you, and it's just like, they're just checking off all the little things, and they're doing them. And they're not playing well. They're missing attacks. They're not healing when they should be. But they still will have this huge added advantage because something like that's so effective and it lasts so long. So I'm glad they're doing stuff like that. But what else have we got? Drain Essence. Fix an issue with this ability and some more would fail to cast if you use it against a crowd control immune enemy while you were blocking. It would fail to cast if you use it on an enemy. Okay, got you. I think this has happened to me. This Drain Essence, because I use this on my Templar. And I've been blocking on him. Anyway. Werewolf. Here's the big thing this patch. Everyone's saying Werewolf OP. Get ready to see lots of werewolves. PCNA, Werewolf Wednesday's coming back. Croth, are you in? You in? You want to bring it back on the Covenant? We're going to get all the orcs. Werewolf Wednesday, let's go. That shit's coming back. Alright. Featuring Crotha every Wednesday. He'll be on. Out of his mind. Running around. There were a significant number of changes made to Werewolf this update. Some of these were made to improve the quality of life, the leveling, maintaining the form. So that seems to be a thing. What they mean is, first of all, it sounds like it'll be easier to level it up, the skills. Leveling Werewolf did take a little bit of leveling on the skills. So does Vampire. I wonder if they changed anything there. But Werewolf, you couldn't stay in it long while you were leveling it, basically. And you had to eat constantly. Constantly eat shit. Or take damage nonstop. And even then, you didn't stay in it long unless you were in a pack. Now, however, that's still the case, I think, when you're in a pack. But, it sounds like in general, they just made it easier to stay in the transformation. So you didn't have to feel like when you popped, you're like, fuck, we need to get in combat. It's not going to be up much longer. I don't know. That's what it seems like, though. First, you'll find leveling and maintaining your Werewolf is now considerably easier. The Valor passive is now granted automatically from the very start, so you can sustain it. We've reduced the experience required to morph all the skills. See, yeah, that stuff was costly. Second, you'll be able to do more combat actions as a Werewolf, such as resurrecting allies or using synergies. That's interesting. Synergies, I feel they always should have had. Resurrecting, that's a little borderline. I don't know if I want a Werewolf resurrecting people. Not that it's OP, but it might be breaking my immersion. I don't know. But, like, they should definitely be able to run into a gravity crush and just, like, rip it. Just, you know, because that's the animation they should make. They should just throw out their arms and just howl at the fucking sky and see the gravity crush just blow some shit away. You know, that's what I want to see. Werewolves will have a much easier time engaging in group content now. They can also help their friends more effectively. This, coupled with some other changes such as Blood Rage passive triggering on damage dealt instead of damage taken, means they can be more viable in-group PvE activities such as dungeons. I'll be more viable in PvP too, you kidding me? Finally, many Morrison abilities were changed to improve cohesiveness of the Werewolf kit. Some combos and effects that weren't very effective have been removed, while others were tweaked. To support the fast and ferocious playstyle of the Werewolf, as an example, we removed stun from the pouncing and piercing howl, but dramatically improved roar by making it an instant cast, fear more targets. So the fear, it did have a delay on it, and you kind of had to run. If there was a, you guys see the camera? Like, if there was a pack of a crowd of targets, you would have to run into them to fear them. You would actually have to run all the way into them. Because fear was so delayed. I do know of that. That was tough. It was unreliable to use sometimes on a guy that you were, like, almost next to. It wasn't terrible, but usually you just howl them down. But the desired combo is to go in and fear and then howl, because you can amp it. Unless they change the skill. I have no fucking idea. Explaining sex, pretty much. Alright. It's all half this chat's gonna take away from that. Werewolf transformation. You can now resurrect other players while transformed. You can now use synergies while transformed. You will use a unique werewolf-themed animation instead of the synergy's usual animation. It better be howling at the sky and throwing out your limbs like a crazy madman. You can now use siege weapons while transformed? Are you kidding me? That's where I draw the line. You should not be... siege weapons? How the fuck's a werewolf? Let me jump on the trebuchet. Raw. Like, come on. You can't use siege weapons while transformed, dude. That's insane. Do you guys not see this in here? I don't like that one. Even resing's pretty tough. Like, I get it. You want to be able to help the guys out and res them. You don't want to have to untransform. I get it. But siege weapons? No. No. Werewolves are not shooting fucking trebs. That does not happen. I've seen it all. I'm going to see it all next patch. We're going to see a raid of werewolves shooting a keep down with siege. Your werewolf timer will no longer tick down when you are reviving in place while transformed. Updating the tooltip of this ability is to better describe all the additional effects transforming. Blah, 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 blah. The ability to morph no longer move speed, physical, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so they moved the effects of the, I'm guessing the ultimate skill they moved it into the passive chamber. Why? These bonuses are moved to the passives to help reinforce the feeling of progression you get from leveling the werewolf. It also allows extra space to add more information of the werewolf transformation tooltip about all the bonuses you will have while transformed, such as max stamina being increased in your heavy attack dealing splash. Okay. Pact leader. For packing them up. Werewolf can also use trade merchants and shop for houses. I think so. I think they can. Can werewolves place camps? That's not in the patch notes. No one knows. We'll have to see. But, Pack Leader Morph. The direwolves now scale with the bonuses. Damage done. Okay. The direwolves now randomly alternate between 2 direct damage abilities, previously 4. And they no longer use a non-damage snaring ability. Okay, so they just do straight damage. Fix an issue where the direwolves would throttle their attacks against the same target. They now attack much more rapidly. Fix an issue where the direwolves would not respawn with you whenever you respawn. Okay. Blood Range ability increases the timer of your werewolf transformation when you deal damage rather than when you take it. It adds 2 to 4 seconds with 5-second cooldown. So 4-second cooldown, or 4 seconds added on a 5-second cooldown. So almost entirely, like an 80%. It dwindles slowly, and that doesn't include anything else that might be packed in here. Devour. This is now the first passive. Free. I feel like we should do a separate thing on Werewolf. How much is? Okay, there's not that much. This is the first passive you unlock. It does not require you to spend a skill point. Points already spent in this automatically refunded. Devour Corpse ability now a 4-second channel instead of a 4-second cast. Every second you spend devouring corpse increases your werewolf timer and restores health. Each corpse can be devoured for up to 4 seconds. Updated the visual effects on enemy corpses that can be devoured. Improved the targeting and reliability. Now, right now I don't think... Can 2 werewolves devour the same corpse right now? I don't think they can. Will they be able to, though? Does anyone know that? Maybe someone can check up on that. The ability in its morphs now heal based on your max health. Oh, really? The heal, if you guys didn't know, was a stamina or magicka based skill. It was the only one in that and fear costed magic too, but it didn't scale because it's not doing damage. But the heal was scaled off your magicka, which is why a lot of werewolves kind of bounced their build a little bit. They had some kind of magicka set in there, and they were the very successful ones that were able to have good sustain, regen, and heal pretty well. But now scaling off your max health, it says. Hircine's Bounty and Hircine's Rage heal for 45% of your max health, while Hircine's Fortitude heals for 60% of your max health. Jesus. That's a big fucking heal. That's still 30% of your health in Cyrodiil. It just scales off your health now. Hircine's Rage. This morph now grants Major Brutality. So now they also gave them Major Brutality now, which they didn't have access to. You used to have to use the, Brutality pots. So now you can use other ones. Not including or limited to, but there are pots out there that do, Major Expedition with healing and Major Vitality. Okay? If you just want to amp up that 60% heal a little bit and have max move speed, you can do it. You can believe in that dream. The Infectious Claws updated the visual effects for this ability and its morphs. Okay. This one's a weird thing. It's a tough one to use on people that are moving. In a room where people are snared, rooted, or not moving much, easier to aim. Great skill. It's like trying to use the DK's Noxious Breath, Terrible sometimes. 45k HP, where else coming to a BG near you? Yeah, oh man. Now I wonder, has any, we can look at it in game here in a minute. Now, is it still a Magicka cost ability? So is it a Magicka cost skill that scales off max HP? It's minor brutality, guys? What is? The morph now, it says it grants major brutality. The new one gives major. I don't think it ever gave minor brutality. It gave... The only... DKs give minor brutality. No. The werewolf before this gave a flat boost that was percent based to damage. That's what it did. That's gone, it looks like, so far. Yes, it is. So it still costs Magicka. So still costs Magicka on the fear and the heal, and that's it. And neither of them scale off max Magicka, which means you don't need max Magicka on this at all. You just need Magicka regen. Like prisoners or something. Right? Your sub never went off. If you're using a prime, you just have to you have to resub with prime, or I'm sorry, refresh the page and it resubs with prime. Sorry, I'm losing my mind looking at this page for too long. Prisoners rags, yeah, Kratha. Stam regen, sprint for Magicka, heal forever. God bless everything. Patrick Scott's Werewolf. Yeah. It's already a strong build, but I mean, if you don't need max Magicka anymore, like, so you can just use Artaeum's, the new food, the gold food, gives you max health, max stamina, stam regen, health regen, prisoner's rags, whatever the fuck else you want, and still have a 2-piece monster set. For whatever the hell else you want, right? Bloodspawn or Valken's works on it too if you scale with the heal. You know, there's a lot of options there. I didn't get to there yet, Shadow Viper. I don't know. Troll King, yeah, obviously. Werewolf heal scaled off spell damage anyway. That's why Alchemist Pelnals was OP. All right. So, all right. I'll get to it later in test. All I'm saying is, Werewolf had a, you know, it may not matter what your magic is anymore at all. Just that you can bring some in, and if you can bring it in, you can heal. And Prisoners fits the perfect there, but you know, we'll get to it later. All right. Let's read the rest of the stuff. Whoa. Dun, dun, dun. Ascari's coming in with his prime. Welcome, Ascari. Bring in the guns for Ascari. Remember the Rip Squad. Ascari with the plays. Ascari, you excited for the Dragon Knights? You excited for the Dragon Knights? Wings out, brother? There's a Magicka DK player. He's got to be excited about the wings. Alright. I was excited. I haven't even got to play my Magicka DK yet. What else do we have here? Piercing Howl. Is that where I left off? Yeah, no wait. Infectious Claws. Yeah, Piercing Howl. This ability and its morphs no longer stun the target. So this was the Howl. This is the big roar. Did a lot of damage. Whole lot of damage. And I imagine it probably still does. Decrease the cost of this ability and its morphs to 3510 stamina from 4050. Wow. Okay. So alright, sure. Updated the visual effects for this ability and its morphs. Okay. The synergy now grants an ally empower for all light attacks for 5 seconds. Previously, it granted 10% more light and heavy attacks for 15. So that can be very strong for obvious reasons. Especially if you get a lot of werewolves that start just howling to each other and proccing off each other. We're talking empower for all light attacks for 5 seconds. Now, depending what you're doing, that may only be 3 or 4 light attacks. Maybe it's only 2. But that's not all this thing does, right? It's not just a buff. So, what's the other morph do then? Where's that information at? Are they gonna do something for vampires then? Because werewolves look like they're getting a proper rework here. Is there a werewolf DLC coming next? Werewolf army hype, 32 months from Icy the Reaper. Thank you, man. Welcome back. Thank you for that long time sub, brother. I think that's original. I think you're here first month. Other morph does 30% more damage to feared targets. Where's that at? Wait, is it major, What? Oh, okay, so the other one was just unchanged. The other one still will amp the 30% more damage if the target's feared. Okay. Whereas the other... This is kind of your DPS spammable skill. If you had to pick one in the Werewolf. For people that might be new to Werewolf and are wondering what's strong. This would be your like DPS spammable. And it's high cost. It does a lot of damage and always has. But it can do 30% more on a target that's feared. That's how it was. I'm guessing that's how it still is, the other morph. So what they did change is that the other Howl, what the other Howl used to do, the other Howl used to, if you killed a target, it would set everyone around him off bounce too if they died. I remember that morph because it's kind of silly because the fear was setting people off bounce too. But anyway, so they changed the one to give you this synergy to empower all light attacks, which can be strong to your other werewolf friends. It can be strong to other people too. This is what I was saying. If you had a little Magicosauric Shepherd with you, and he synergized this shit with Overload, you have 50% more damage for a couple Overload shots. You know. But anyway, Pounce. This ability in S'mores no longer stun the target if they were already set off bounce. Okay. Pursuit. This ability now also increases your move speed by 15-30%. After passive, this bonus was moved from the baseline effect to the passive. Oh, okay. Alright. So that's the 30% you get for being a werewolf. That's not Major Expedition. Major Expedition stacks with that. People that might be wondering. Roar. This ability and its morphs are now instant cast. Previously 1 second. This is your fear. This is an AoE. This ability and its morphs now fear up to 6 targets. Previously 3. So yes, the former fear only feared 3. Minus the one when you press the ult. When you actually ult, that one had no caps, I think. 6 is a lot. Oh, damn. You're going to be able to throw a crew of beasts inside people. Oh, man. This ability in the Rousing Roar morph no longer set off bounce. Ferocious. This morph now sets feared targets off bounce. And then the Rousing Roar, this morph has been renamed to Deafening Roar. And now applies Major Fracture for 10 seconds to feared targets. Major Fracture for 10 seconds. So much for limiting major debuffs to 4 to 6 seconds. Like we did. Like, that's all we read. We just read patch notes, how everything got nerfed from 10 seconds. They're like, so yeah, the big dick werewolf's coming in here. Big plays alert. 10 seconds AoE Major Fracture. Everyone get packed up. Like, holy shit, man. That's an AoE fear that just doubled its targets from 3 to 6. And it's not even... It's really not small. I think it's 8 meters radius. It's a fear. It goes through block. It's good. Alright. All you gotta do is have Magicka. And that's an easy way to build that for werewolves. A very easy way. It's just gonna be... I imagine there's gonna be a lot of people going werewolves. Are we just gonna see werewolves squaring off on both sides, just clobbering the shit out of each other? People are gonna come and watch these streams and be like, "What the fuck is this game you're playing?" Because there's just gonna be werewolves beating on each other. I think at a certain point, you know. Surprise attack make fracture 16 question mark. I don't know what that means. Are you saying surprise attack does major fracture for 16 seconds? I don't think it does. Okay, so let's look. For 16.2 seconds, it does. I mean, most people don't fight a Nightblade for 16 seconds. I'll be honest. I didn't even know it lasted that long. That's insane. That is real. That is over the top long. Yeah, either the Nightblade or the target dies in about 8 seconds. So, that's a good point. I never even looked at the time on that debuff. That's crazy. But anyway, Major Fracture is strong. It's not as OP as Major Defile or anything. So, in the general sense of like what's going on out there, but make no mistake, Major Fracture is strong. You get this from your Stam Wardens with their AoE. Dragonites can do it with Noxious Breath, but let's be real, Noxious Breath is like, you know, it's kind of short range, stupid, terrible targeting. But BG Q equal werewolf. I do think there will be a lot of werewolves in the BG. Yeah. Yeah, I think there'll be a fair amount, and I think they're gonna have a lot of healing shepherds with them. You know. But okay, let's move on here. Savage Strength ability now increases your spell and physical resist by 5,000 or 10,000. Now these numbers were already there. What you have to understand with werewolves is they take 20% more damage. So they do take extra damage from Fighters Guild's stuff. So thus they get boosted with armor. Now werewolves can pair very well with a proper healer, especially like a warden that can throw them a lot of heals. And now that they can take synergies, it's going to be very big for them to be able to pick up things like shards or pop orbs is really big, and it helps them out even more in a big way. And again, with a warden can throw down a lot of heals over time, which is great on a werewolf. And werewolves are very fast, and the wardens can just leash onto the werewolves and constantly follow them. So, like Time Dazzler, you're going to have a good time. He's a good warden healer. And so is Yippee. We have another. So you will find that combination to be very strong with them. They have tons of heals over time. They will synergize very well with werewolves. They'll boost their health. They can also give them armor, which you will see that they are not getting here. Savage Strength is a passive 10k armor, but they can still get their major ward and all that from a warden that can do the ice armor for 28 seconds. And then they have like 3 hots, and a couple of which are procced by synergies. Okay, so they will go very well together. Major Berserk from Storm Metro. Yeah, you can do that. Unless you're grouped with Tamerlane, because he's just going to be dropping meteors. He ain't going to drop you Storm Atro. You're going to drop that meteor and rune cage him, and then he's going to die after. He's going to say, I did 20k damage. Too easy. Chuden set or ice armor. You can do Chuden, but that's what I mean, Kratha. When you pair a warden together with the werewolf, you don't need Mighty Chuden then, right? Then that werewolf he could do maybe a 2-piece Kina and just start slapping people around for a huge amount of damage and still get the armor. So yeah, Chuden, yeah, it does give you the extra heal on the 2-piece, but I'm just saying, like, the other thing, I haven't seen it all, but I don't know if the werewolves still have it. The thing about werewolf is it boosted your weapon damage so much. Now, they removed the one skill that gave you like a 16% boost, but it should also have a passive that boosts it by like 18 as well, I think. If that passive's still there, like basically what I'm getting at is if you can manage to run medium on your werewolf and be in the werewolf transformation, your weapon damage spikes so high because of all of that. So 12% is the passive one. Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, and then that'll stack with the medium, right? So what I'm saying is it enables weapon damage so much more than anything else. Like that's why medium builds go for weapon damage over max stam a lot of times, whereas a lot of magicka builds go for max magicka over spell damage. I mean that's at least what scales better in a lot of cases. But anyway, let's just get through it here. Fighters Guild. Silver Bolts increase the duration of the snare to 4 from 6. Silver Leash more fixed an issue where this ability was not counting as a Fighters Guild ability for the Slayer passive. Ooh, okay. They'll be needing that. You're going to have werewolf hunters out there shooting off their crossbolts on people. Walt coming in with the prime welcome. Thank you for that sub, man. Bring in the guns. Emac, you gonna be ready when I'm done this? Maybe we can check the dungeons. What I'd like to do when I'm done this is try to do the battlegrounds and see them. And then maybe we can do the dungeons. And Emac, if you know, I'm gonna leave it up to you, Emac. If you want to try to pick 2 other people, maybe we can get to do something with. Sigic Order, imbue weapon, fix an issue where this ability needs more. So we're removing you from sneak when cast. Right, they already mentioned that. They're not playing visual or audio if you're unarmed. Crushing weapon morph, fix an issue where this could heal you based on the damage done from the light attack and not the damage done by crushing weapon itself. Ooh, okay. That's probably a buff then, I would imagine. Okay, Emac. Jesus. That's crazy. Undaunted, trapping webs, shadow silk. More fix an issue where the black widow spiders were using a poison dot. That was mitigated by a spell. Okay. That's minor. It's okay. Unchained, fix an issue where this passive was not functioning when used break free while transformed into a werewolf. Not anymore, bitches. Werewolves are coming to town. We figured out all the bugs. Fix an issue where this passive was setting enemies off balance when you dodge their attack with dodge bonuses such as major or minor evasion instead of only from roll dodge. Oh, come on. This was nice. It's not that you can't use it. It is more skillful this way. It is. It is more skillful this way. But generally, we're not making things for skill, but okay. Alright, item sets. Let's try to get through this quick, guys. Cyrodiil, item set's been redesigned. The old one was weapon damage, max health healing taken. When you deal melee damage, you apply a minor defile, 5 seconds reducing the healing, but no, that's major defile. This is Crest of Cyrodiil. Crest of Cyrodiil was a major defile, not minor defile. Alright, Genie, you got a typo. Unbelievable. Just trolling. That's okay. I think that was major defile. So the new one, I guess they're trying to get rid of it. Major. Stam recovery, max health, max health. After successfully blocking, you heal for 8k. This can heal every 8, or happen every 5. Just seems like a set you slap on someone that doesn't know what's going on. Just say, hold it down, buddy. Okay. Rip truth. Kind of, a little bit. Yeah, that thing hurts. The truth set. Yeah, that Atronach change. Okay. If you block an attack, you can heal for a lot. There you go. Defending warrior, fix an issue where this could sometimes heal you based on. Okay. Dominos, updated telegraph visuals. Okay. Durox, decrease the major defile to 4 from 10. God bless. But wait, isn't the proc on this still 1 second? Come on, man. All right. Well, you can't win them all, I guess. I don't know. This doesn't really fix this set. Because if it, okay, it's 4 seconds, but if it can be reapplied every second, then still 100% time on directs. Yeah, like it could be you could have nerfed it to 7 seconds and it'd have the same effect. This even if you made the cooldown 2 seconds with an uptime of 4 seconds, that would be different. That would be way different. Okay? It'd be half as painful. But again, I said it earlier, but you should try to really steer clear of applying really strong effects on people for doing very little. Alright? I know the design has moved towards like raising the floor and lowering the ceiling, but when it comes to the proc stuff, it's really fucking dangerous to put like this just broke stupid shit on people where you just have to show up. You literally just show up, you strap on the armor, you press the wrong buttons, and you're still just doing a great job. Like that's you gotta offer something that rewards people. Like why not every patch put in like 60% sets that people can just strap on and be winners, and then like the other 30% put in sets where it's like if you do something you get rewarded. It pays off. You know, you knocked the guy down, you did this, and then that happened or something. Like, damn. Alright. Elfbane, fixed an issue where this was not increasing the duration of dots on Grother. Alright. Hagraven, updated Telegraph. Alright. Hatchlings, this has been redesigned. Did physical, spell, healing taken, gain damage shield. That absorbs 5k every 15 seconds. I remember this came out in 1 Tamriel. I remember looking over all the 1 Tamriel sets, and I think I voted this one the most absolute shittiest thing for a 5-piece bonus I'd ever seen before. I mean, a 5k shield, like, what is it now? So you gain a damage shield equal to 20% of your health for 15 seconds every 15 seconds.
You son of a bitch.
That still sucks. So this process we just did where we revisit the set, you're going to have to do it again. That's not a good set. That's not a good bonus. 20% of your max health, okay. Even if you have 50k health, alright. Doesn't really matter. It's a 5k shield? 7,500 shield if you have 50k health every 15 seconds. Halved in Cyrodiil. 10% of your health. So, alright, Height of Morios. Fix an issue where the damage from this item set could critically strike. Oh, really? Okay. Fix the issue where this set was not increasing the duration of Minor Expedition. Okay. Light of Cyrodiil, 5-piece bonus. While you're casting a channeled ability, your damage taken is reduced by 15. Now, instead, it's when you're casting or channeling an ability, your damage taken is reduced by 15. When you are interrupted, your next magic ability will cost no magicka. It's like they're encouraging you to make a bad decision. If someone counterplays you, don't worry about it. Next one's free. Okay. Robes of the Hist. Reduce the duration of disabling effects applied to you by 20%. While you are affected by a disabling effect, heal for 2k a second. Now instead, it's while you're affected by. This wasn't a bad set by there was a there were very very broken builds with this. Um, Back there was a CP that worked with it too. While you're affected by disabling effect immobilize or snare, you heal for 2,500 every 1 second. What? They just buffed it? That's it? No. No. You don't need to buff sets like that. Maybe it should be while you're affected by a disabling effect, an immobilize, snare, or oblivion damage. You heal for 2,500 every 1 second. Maybe more people would be enticed to put this on then. Slowed semblance. Speak of the devil. Remove the first damage over time tick. That's good. This thing procced the moment it hit you. Generally, you're not supposed to. Damage over time now begins with 1 second after it's been applied. Decrease the total damage by 15% due to removing that tick. Ooh, it's a nerf then? Fix an issue where the damage over time in the set was removing invisibility, yeah. Fix an issue where the damage over time could proc itself. And that's it. That's nope, not good enough for me. Not good enough for me. This does not alleviate the issues I experience. Let me be honest. All right, the issue of this proccing itself
You son of a bitch.
was not very common. Okay, not very common. Okay, I made a clip where this happened. That's true. Because it was ridiculous. Didn't kill me. Because it's annoying, is what it is. The set procs very easily. So easily that a good chunk of the people that proc this set on me are not actually attacking me at the time when it procs. What I mean is, I'm usually hitting them from behind, or they're targeting someone else, and some stupid ability hits me, like a ground ability, or their armor that they have on, that reflects, 50 damage, will proc it on me. It gets procced by anything. That's one problem. One problem is, for how effective it is, for the fact that it's oblivion damage, it procs too easily. That is not addressed. That's one. The problem of it doing damage over time that can proc itself doesn't really matter, number one. Like, you should fix it, yes. I'm glad you did, perfect. But, not a big deal. There are not people making forum posts saying, I can't play in the Battlegrounds if only the slows would stop proccing on me. I just can't escape it. No, it's just reapplying because people are just attacking you. And it instantly reapplies. Because the proc condition is so fucking low, you just have to show up. Alright? That's what slowed semblance should be called. It should be called just show up. You should just rename the set. Because it procs more easily than anything I've ever seen. It's disgusting. It's just Viper all over again. You put it on people and they don't do dick. And they just fucking proc it. And it's effective no matter what you have, what you're doing, what armor you're doing, if you're blocking, are you healing, are you in misform. When you put oblivion damage in the game, you want to be very careful. This goes for any fucking game I've ever seen that has oblivion damage or chaos damage or whatever game you've played where it bypasses all of your mechanics. You want to apply it carefully and think about it. You don't want to put it on a set where if someone farts, it fucking procs on everybody. Okay? You can't do that. So the proc condition needs to be reworked. In my opinion, that's where you should start with that one. Rework it. And I guarantee you this thing's still going to have a problem of procking itself. The problem is someone can put degeneration on you. Degeneration lasts a while, alright? They just throw it on you, stupid little dot, lasts a while, and it will keep procking slows. And then it can proc Valken. And Valken will come down and hit you, and then that it procs burning. And then burning will proc slows. Slows will continue procking, which procs Valken, which then procs again, and you just keep burning and slowing. You're like, what the fuck kind of game is this? Like, what's going on, and why is it oblivion damage to begin with? Like, it's insane. Alright. you, you gotta watch you gotta watch clips of people that have endured slows for some time to really understand what's going on. If you're not going to go and play with it, because I imagine if people actually played the game and felt the effects of slows, you would understand what's bad about it. It's the fact of all the classes that have these cool things. Like a Dragon Knight puts up corrosive armor, where he can only take, 3% max damage. Well, fuck it, you got slows. Oh, you have shields because you're a magic historic? Fuck you, we got slows. Oh, you're a guy that's spec'd into, oh, you got impregnable armor, so you can have a block build. Cool. Slows, get fucked. You're in mist form. Cool. Slows, get fucked. Major protection? Fuck you. Slows. It's killing everything. Like, all the interesting mechanics, you're actually throwing them to the wayside with something that procs way too easy. Alright? It's not the most destructive and nasty set in the game that's ever been seen. It wasn't like when we had Viper procking with Red Mountain instantly. It wasn't like that. That was different, but that actually took skill to fucking do. Just a little bit. You could come up and incap someone with a Nightblade and instantly kill him, okay. But like you actually had to go and fucking press buttons. This shit just procs for showing up, man. And it's kind of dumb. But rework slows a little more maybe. All right, that's only my second rant for the patch notes. But that and Rune Cage, man, they weren't even touched. Really didn't touch them. Not really fixed. This is not the issue though. I just want to stress it. Slowed's problem is not that it just procs itself. That's and we removed a tick. Okay. That's not really the issue. It's overperforming and procs too easily. Should tone down a lot of stuff that procs automatically. Should really you don't have to do it in one patch, but honestly, like when we talk about quality of life, okay? We saw here, we'll come back to this. We're at Swamp Raider. Quality of life changes. Quality of life, okay? When I see the words quality of life, like this is what I'm talking about. It's that kind of shit. The quality of life will improve if you get rid of stuff where it just automatically happens. People will actually go in and play the gameplay and have fun without the sets just taking care of all the business for them. Because those are the kind of sets that start strolling in casually into your arsenal, and they're just doing everything for you. I'm over it. I'm over it. I really am. Those kind of sets, they do diminish gameplay. Okay. Swamp Raiders. We're moving right on. Swamp Raider. All right.
You son of a bitch.
Gilliam needs to get to work. That's Gilliam. I hope you're watching. That's what Chaz has to say. No, believe me, there's a lot of great stuff in here. But when I see something, that I think maybe needs to be clarified, maybe the point was missed on what was broken about it. You can't just be like a set's overperforming and fix one bug and be like, is the set fixed? Because no, like there were actually other issues with it. And again, this is just a general point. And it's not a fact. It's just my opinion. Like, I think you want to reward people with certain sets that may be more difficult. That won't always work, right? And that's not a set that does it. That set actually outperforms other stuff because it's not affected by Battle Spirit. And it ignores all the mechanics of the game. And because of that, it's very effective. And it's more easily applied than a lot of things. So tell me, why will I look at 15 or 20 other sets in the game when I can just go to that one? Why do that stuff when I can just defer to the one? And say, fuck the other 21s. I don't give a shit about them, So, that's my only point. So, just be careful with, pure damage, chaos damage, oblivion damage, whatever game you're playing. I've seen it in different games I've played, and you just have to handle it well. That's all. Respect what it is, and what environment you're putting it in, and you can balance it out. The fact that they fixed the Nightblade thing for them is good. Nightblades were getting fucked by that so badly. It was annoying to me because I have played a Nightblade in there, and when I've been slowed at every match I've played a Nightblade, and I couldn't use Cloak, and then I was fighting Nightblades where I'm like, if I was slowed in this Nightblade, I'd be, the fight would have already been over. So it's annoying when like I'm trying to stream and I avoid using something like that now, and um, I'm getting bit on both ends from it. But anyway, let's move on. Because the patch notes aren't over. Like, the PTS is up, and they discuss changes, and they make changes, and that's why we do this stuff, so people can have discussion, pitch their ideas, and try to arrive at something better. That's all. When you deal damage with a magic ability, your poison and disease abilities gain an additional 450 weapon damage for 10 seconds. What? Adds 400 weapon damage to your poison and damage abilities. Okay. Thank you. What was Swamp Raider said? Okay, good. Perfect. No one's gonna use that anyway. Alright. Tremor scale. Decrease the duration of the snare to 3 seconds from 4. Okay. Is anyone getting tremor scale these days? I saw one guy trying to use it one of these days, but he missed. Didn't hit. Alright. Ward of Cyrodiil, redesign the set. Stam recovery, mount speed, max health, increase the amount of damage you could block by 8%. Now it is weapon damage, stam recovery, which isn't bad. When you deal damage, you apply Major Defile to the enemy for 4 seconds, reducing their healing received. This is every 5 seconds? Wait, what? Why are we doing this with the sets? Why are the sets better at applying Major Defile than the skills? What the fuck is going on here? That's 2 sets that have Major Defile with high uptime, while you literally just nerf the skills. People are not going to use Lethal Arrow. They're not going to use Sword and Board in a duel anymore. They're not going to reverb somebody. I just got done saying how that was good. Now they're just going to strap this motherfucking thing on and go dual wield two-handed and say, fuck you, I don't need Sword and Board anymore. I got Ward of the Cyrodiil redesign. Like, come on, dude. Sleeping. Some PvP. Alright, Witchman Armor. Fix an issue where the resource restored from this item would not work if the ultimate ability did not hit the target. Well, that's good. I know that set. Zon, decrease the range. I like that. 8 meters from 10. Good. Good. Risk reward. Perfect. I like that. Risk versus reward is good. They moved Crest Cyrodiil to Ward of Cyrodiil. Exactly, yeah. Alright. 1 second cooldown, so it's legit Dorox with a better 2 to 4 bonus. I didn't even see what else. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're saying this one is. Yeah, because I was going to say, this one actually has good stam sets. You could run this with jewelry and still be in fucking medium armor and have full uptime on Major Defile with weapon damage, stam recovery. Yeah. Or you can run it heavy. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever you want to do. Doesn't make sense. These are the kind of things like there's a pattern, okay? And the pattern is making stupid decisions here on this shit, because... Alright, Alliance War and PvP. General, player who queue for Cyrodiil while group will now independently enter Cyrodiil on their own individual queue timers. This means a group that queues for Cyrodiil can have members in Cyrodiil or other zones of their group transitions. Okay. Delve bosses in Cyrodiil now spawn like other delves in Tamriel. Happy hunting. Updated the alchemy satchels acquired from conquest boards from Imperial City Telvar purchases to include the new ingredients. There we go. Imperial City's coming back, boys. I did put in a ticket for this one. I'm glad this happened. Thank God. Nightbot, welcome back. Thank you, sweet bro. You're God. Can I get chat to bring in your God, sweet bro? I'd appreciate the hell out of that. Thank you. Battlegrounds. Healing medals and team deathmatch now contribute more scoring value towards the end of the scoreboard. That's good. Healers have been getting boned in TDM. That's good. You can no longer cast Undo to get into the starter location. Okay. Itemization. Fix an issue where items in Cyrodiil will be considered stolen when picked up. In the lawless lands of Cyrodiil, this is preposterous, and thus these items are no longer considered stolen. What happened to the justice system?
Son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch. Moving right along. Keeps. Keeps now have 2 levels per resource material instead of 5. Okay. So let me read up on chat here. They nerfed Incaf while I quit. Man's done. You're good, dude. Was Fingers told to chill? He looks like he's physically having trouble stopping from tearing the sauce. What do you mean? I made my points pretty clear, I think, on anything I haven't really agreed with. Did I not? This is... Where are the performance changes? I don't think we've got to them yet. Working on it still. We're still getting through the patch notes here. We are a good chunk of the way through. We're almost done here, I think. Keeps now have 2 levels per resource instead of 5. Resources now have 1 level defensive upgrade and 1 level of production upgrade. Resources will now go from level 0 to 1 in about 10 minutes. A keep will now gain its level slower from a level 0 resource, but much faster from a level 1. Prior upgrades, which were to spread out across 5 levels, have been compressed into 2 levels for keeps and 1 level for resources, but overall strength of each upgrade maximum level remains the same. Keeps once again have degrade turned back on, however the degrade rate's much faster. A keep can lose a resource level in about 5 minutes. Alright, so this is if you, basically what they're saying is if you take resources, you can wound the keep's strength more quickly than before. Yeah, okay. Perfect. So now all you have to do is like take the mine and wait 25 minutes and then you can strike. Dracelaw and Dragonclaw and Brindle now offer an 8% bonus per keep held. Okay. That's not bad. Like, that's good to get people to fight out on those edges. This bonus is also noted on the keep tooltip whenever you hover over it. Keep bonuses now give increases to AP, XP, gold, spell crit, weapon crit for every level of ownership instead of every other bonus. Okay. So that's per keep. Siege masters of Veckenshore have learned from their counterparts in Sotha Sil. Oh god, please don't tell me they have. And all siege weapons will be more effective against players in champion-enabled campaigns. No! Siege damage over the years has tailed off in terms of raw output when comparing CP versus non-CP. Siege and non-CP deals damage. Okay, no. I disagree. I don't agree with this one at all. It's too strong. I don't like this one. This one's really bad. Now, you know what's really bad? A couple things are really bad about it. Cold harbors on non-CP are disgusting. All right, that's fine. We'll throw that one out. The ground AoEs, the meat bags, the scatter shots or whatever. I literally went to this shithole of a server on non-CP fighting against these pussies. Alright? Just packing 50 people inside a keep against, waiting for 30 dudes to charge through a fucking breach. So we do it. We fucking entertain them. And they got like 6 fucking AoEs in one spot. You literally die instantly. You literally take like 30k damage instantly from Siege. Just because it's like, did you just... I ran over it with my horse. I jumped over it, and I still like, boom, it just smokes you midair. It's so dumb. The ground AoEs are stupid. So whatever that shit is, that you can plague the ground with a scatter shot, or plague the ground with a meat bag, no. Not a fan of it. Not really a fan of it at all. Like, what is this made to do? I mean, what's the problem? What's going on in Cyrodiil? Is it are we trying to stop the Zergs? Do we want to stop faction stacking? Is that what we're trying to do? Like, if you want to stop faction stacking, I'll tell you how to do it. You put the fucking power in the hands of the players, and they can go out there and kill the people. But when you handicap them, they can't do it. You put it in Siege? You kidding me? No. When we had like dynamic ult gen, you'd cut through the lines. Faction stack coming in, 40 people, cut through the lines. You're just gonna generate more ult. Can't do it anymore. Mount up? Yeah, there's the mount up clip. Here, let's watch this. Okay. Here, bring it up again. Or maybe it's in clips for the mount up. Here it is. A lot of people like this. A lot of people watched it. Heals, heals, heavy heals, heavy heals.
I'm dead.
Alright, do we have a camp? Cool! Wow! Wow, cool!
Round 2, baby.
Yeah, let's do it
Mount
again. Perfect. That was
Everybody
exciting.
actually mount up. Actually mount up. Yeah, rally up. We'll go through together.
Are we going in? With
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Do you want me to
Dude, we're orcs. Let's go, Fear.
You want me to cast
Grab your
Ice Wall?
dick and let it rip. Let's go. Into the left now.
Hello, PewDiePie.
Go!
I'm
Dead instantly. Now, what killed me? Here's the interesting thing about what actually killed me there. Hang on, can you replay that? Here we go. Meatbag, 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 scattershot, scattershot, meatbag, meatbag. You know what's happening here? It's all this fucking shit on the ground, dude.
Okay, let's go. Into the left now.
Hello, PewDiePie.
See all this red here? This is all meatbags. This is a bunch of dipshits shot the fucking floor with a meatbag and they won the fight. That's what's going on. That's what the problem is. Like, you can't do that, okay? You can't win the fight by shooting the fucking floor with a siege weapon, okay? I know what the answer is. Go and breach another hole. Yeah, so you breach another hole, whatever. Like, you're constantly chasing all around doing this shit. Like, should Siege have a place in it? Absolutely. It should have a place in the mass PvP. Should it be the end-all, be-all? No, it probably shouldn't be. But in non-CP, when you get into these large fights, it is. So you know what happens on non-CP? I will tell you, since the people making the changes are probably not out there in the same environment I am. People will play defense, and they will only strike at the keeps that are not very well defended or just no one's at home. They will go around the front line and hit some keep. They will go from start to finish and take a keep and never have fought any players, and now the players are all rushing there to try to stop it, but they do it so quick because that's all they fucking learn how to do is shoot siege, get in the keep, cap it, repair the walls, back on defense, hunker down with our siege again. Let's farm people that are trying to roll in. So no, non-CP, we've been saying this on the stream, non-CP is actually more fun than CP. It runs better. The only thing bad about it is how strong the siege is. It's bad. It's really bad. It's the only thing I don't like about non-CP, really. That and being outnumbered hurts more, but basically that's really just a testament of how teamwork's good. And I'm all for teamwork in Cyrodiil. But just we're not talking siege work here. Like that's different. So no, I actually don't agree with this change. I think that's the only thing bad with non-CP. I would love non-CP more than CP all around if the siege just wasn't so fucking out of control, dude. It hurts. And people are just shooting the ground. Like, literally, just shoot. We're not even timing the shots anymore. We don't even have Joe on comm saying, they're coming in, guys, get ready to shoot on 3. No. It's just, shoot the fucking door, and again, we're eating Doritos and shooting the ground with catapults. So no, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. Scatter shots, meat bags, change. Don't like them. I don't like the ground placed toxic shit. They want to apply debuffs with it, okay, but damage that stacks, no, I'm not down with that. I think that's been really bad for non-CP. It's encouraged people to just turtle on defense and hit keeps that are not defended. That's the end goal. And I think that's a bad environment to try to attract. You should be encouraging players to engage in player versus player combat, where the players use the skills on their bars. There's literally dudes just shooting siege with Viper and Slodes on, proccing Viper and Slodes with their siege. It's fucking gross. It really is. But anyway, there's that one. God help us in Cyrodiil. We're gonna really have to fucking double the recruitment up on the Orc army. I think we just got to bring the Orc army in 500 strong everywhere we go. Scattershot and meat bag per person will bring this fucking place to its knees. You know, is that the justice we deserve? Is that the justice that's needed to fix it? I don't know. But it's brutal out there. Everybody gets signed up for the Orc army. Everybody. We need everybody. Get ready. We got mid-year mayhem coming in. Get your scatter shots and your meat bags ready, boys. What else we got? Arts and animations. Players transform into werewolves now animate properly when they're interacting with objects in the battlegrounds. Okay. So they can carry the relic, I guess. Pelnels will no longer display its effects every time you change those. Okay. Okay. So we got combat gameplay. Okay. Crafting and economy. Dawn prisms are now available from Battleground Supplies Merchant. Isn't that the try enchant jewelry thing? I think. Is that where that comes? Is that what they're saying? Wait for the console fix. Yeah, mid-year mayhem will be a little delayed until the consoles are fixed up a little. Feel bad. The console guys are struggling. We watched a clip 2 days ago or something on that, or yesterday. Which is fine. Like all for that. They do need to, you know, hope they can enjoy mid-year mayhem and have that fixed. Fix an issue where the French. Okay. I just wanted to. Yes, Trirune. Okay. I just wanted to double check that. So Dawn Prisms you can get from the BG. I'm always a proponent of any of these Battlegrounds or Cyrodiil things that can, you know, entice people. That's good to see. Outfit system. Fix an issue where poison visual effects would not display on weapons while you had an outfit style applied. Okay. Correct issue. Okay, writs. It's not that they're not important. I am kind of reading them. Crowns and crown crates. Fix an issue that could occasionally cause the bust in a crown crate preview view to load in crooked. Okay, dungeons and group content. You can now select one role when queuing through the activity finder. This was made for a few reasons. Most importantly, it streamlines queuing systems so groups can get created faster. Also, in an effort to address the issue where players who queue in multiple roles get assigned to the role they can't do, leading bad group experiences. It's a negative word. It should be poor group experiences. Now, if a player chooses a role, they're explicitly saying they are equipped to perform that role, so there's less downtime at the start of the dungeon. What if they can't, though? What if they fail to perform it? Now they will be doubly insulted.
You son of a bitch.
Now there's no excuse. They'll be like, you queued as a healer. You can't shit. All right. Okay, so here's some dungeon fixes. If you guys want to check out trial. What's the trial one? The sonic boom now destroys any totem hit by the celestial serpent fight. Totems are now correctly named Empowered Tower. Alright. Achievements, fishing, housing, homes, furnishings, UI, Alliance War. The Alliance War menu will no longer be displayed to characters below level 10. Okay. Crown crates, dungeons, gamepad mode, gameplay. When attempting to mount while in combat, an alert now display stating you cannot mount while in combat. I mean, this happens all the time already. Navigating the werewolf skill line will now display werewolf bar. Okay. All right. Housing quests. Okay, boom. That's it. We did it. We got all the way through it. All right. Thoughts, I guess, huh? Lot of cool skill changes here and there, I think. Especially for some class balance stuff. The one thing that stands out immediately right now, because we're not far from it, was I don't know why they nerfs. I totally agree with nerfing the snares and the defiles on a bunch of stuff. Now, they were all skill-based. They were all skills that were nerfed. But then they didn't properly address sets that were major defiling people. You know? Like, what happened there? Why is everyone spamming? What happened? Performance? I don't see any. Performance is not addressed in the page. There's nothing. I got nothing, Moontan. Now, so I can't cover it. However, so the sets. And then again, Slodes and Rune Cage needed to be touched. All right, Rune Cage, and there's still time for that. I find it hard to believe there are class reps and the sort class reps. I'm not holding them responsible. They could have said it just as much or more passionately than I have. But like, Rune Cage needs to be looked at. Okay, and if it doesn't, it will continue to be abused as it already is, and it will get worse. All right? Trust me on that. It's brutal. Slodes will not really fall off, especially in Battlegrounds. Slodes performs extremely well in Battlegrounds. And if you're greenlighting everybody that Slodes is okay and this is the game that we're okay with, and having a set that procs like that is okay, then just like communicate it, I guess. I guess nothing was really changed with Slodes. You can't take away one tick and be like, it's good now, right? No, it's not. It's oblivion damage. And it applies off everything. It's so easy to apply. You can, I'm literally telling you, and I'm not joking, it happens constantly from people that are not attacking me. Just people that threw something on the fucking ground or have an armor ability up or something like that. It's so easily applied. It's a joke. For its effectiveness, they don't line up, okay? When you're creating things and you're a person that manages numbers, you need to have this balance, like a scale, to be like effectiveness, difficulty. Like, and line them up a bit more. And not, because you're just going to have lopsided stuff that doesn't make sense. And then, it'll be, October or something, or whatever, November, and you're going to be like, all right, you know what, maybe we should fix Slodes. Turns out the one tick didn't do the job. Because it's not. and other sets keep procking it. Now, when you have sets that are procking sets, that's another issue. A lot of sets do not constantly proc other sets, but Slodes is so overbearing and so easy to proc that it does. It will proc. Slodes can be carrying on and proc Valken, and Valken will re-proc Slodes. Or vice versa, or poison injection with, the other medium set. There's just a couple goofy-ass fucking setups that we're seeing where it's constantly lingering because it applies so easily. If it wasn't dead on reliable all the time, it might fall off a little bit in its use. So it's just it's you can't do the brain dead stuff is all. Fengrush, according to Outcast, everyone puts in feedback. There is no select view for each class. Okay. Well, hopefully a lot of people there are watching the video. And if you disagree, please come discuss. I'd be happy. I'm dead serious. I'd be happy to discuss. Or invite me to the class bounce meeting regarding Slodes. I mean, I will. Let's go. And Rune Cage. All right, the Rune Cage Slodes meeting, because those two things are big fucking question marks for me this patch that just don't make sense. They honestly look like they were not tested. I'm gonna be honest. I think the QA team was on vacation. I don't think they were fucking tested at all. Period. I don't think anybody put them through a combat run at all. Okay? My honest opinion. But a lot of the other stuff seems pretty wild and exciting. The werewolf. Kind of excited how many werewolves could be running around. It could be werewolves online. We'll see. How shit is patch? I don't think it's all shit. I'm stressing the things that I think were misses, I guess. Which always kind of paints someone in the image that I'm just really bitching, but I'm really not. There's a lot of stuff in there I liked. There's a lot of stuff that's interesting, and then there's a couple blatant misses for me. That's all. And it doesn't mean they're always going to get them on the first pass. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay? Like, this isn't like a slam, because I'm not. It's important to talk about these things and stress it. So I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I hope that Rune Cage and Slodes get another pass, and they're a bit more addressed. And not only that, the major defile sets, okay, another pass on those too. We don't need those. The siege stuff, I have very little hope for siege, because nothing moves fast in Cyrodiil. Everything stays still. It doesn't move quick. I don't expect that's even going to get looked at, touched, addressed, cared about, which sucks. But the ground placed AoEs, like, you're not going to see faction stacks. They're not going to be like, guys, we can't stack anymore. The meat bags are too strong. No, they're not. They're still going to faction stack. Because you can't drive, okay? Nobody's driving scatter shots across the field, shooting them, and pushing the enemy back. And they're like, guys, if we only split up, we could counter these scatter shots. No, because they're just sitting on defense, one faction stack versus another. They will continue to faction stack. If you put in scatter shots and meat bags to counter faction stacks, it doesn't solve it. It doesn't solve the problem. It just creates a hot mess. That's all. Okay. A lot more positive in these reviews than you were in the past. I know. This is all constructive, chat. It is. So you rather Magicasaur not have a stun? No. I want fragments to get stunned back. I want to see more gameplay that encourages things that worked, which is, and I'm not saying to turn the whole game upside down, but damn, when you had something like fragments, like a projectile that actually stunned, that paid off, that had some risk for the reward, that shit works. It's not hard to do. You put fragments on your bar and it would proc every other cast. And then you could instantly shoot it out and stun someone for a lot of damage. What was the problem? That it could be reflected or dodged? What was the problem? So, I'm a fan of that stuff. I want Magicasaurks to have their insta-frags back. And I guarantee you, any of those good-ass Magicasaurks would be right behind that. They would want the same fucking thing too. Okay? So. PTS BGs need to see this new map. That's you're exactly right. So let's get to it. Werewolves are sounding like they're doing a lot of damage. People are saying to me. So we'll see what they do.